Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name is David Turner and I'm here with Sean Bell.
Yes!
Oh, Matt Murray in the house.
Hello there.
James Farley.
Hello.
Keep the energy going. Come on.
Is he any better? He's just the best. Right, should we get straight into it? Should we get feedback? What did they think last week, Matt? Did they love it? They loved it, right?
Well, actually, first of all, did anyone listen to Dave on Player Characters this week?
I haven't had a chance yet, no.
No.
I hear it's good,
well, it's a really, really good podcast. Should anyone listening, and also the two people co-hosting, you should listen to it. It's really interesting. Dave's really good on it.
Right.
There were some choice moments which I've captured. It started off really well. Start with this.
Okay.
The other guy on my show, Matt Murray, he is the complete opposite. He's an amazing man.
Just what I put that. Is that amazing man?
I was thinking,
Yeah, amazing man. Yeah.
Amazing man. That's
nice.
fine. And then then it goes on to this. What's this?
Go on.
But he is obsessed with numbers and figures and right.
Yeah, I mean, I agreed, right? I was listening to it, I was loving it, and it's probably like the choice of language at points, but I felt like I was sort of thrown under the bus
Right.
at
Why?
one point. Well, it was this bit here, really. It's probably just the language used, but this bit here.
Because
Okay.
at the end of the day, and Matt tells me this, and he's absolutely right, the amount of work we put into this, to expect to do all of that work for free.
Right, that's it, really.
What's wrong with
Right,
that?
I just wanted to tell everyone,
And,
right?
you know,
Whoa, Mum, David, no. Well, because
it's
when I
funny you
heard
should-
that,
It's funny you
What?
should bring that up, actually, Matt.
go on.
Well, I've got a clip of my own. One sec.
What is going on?
I've
What
just
is going on?
Go on mute for a second. I'll be right with you. Right, so we're just about to record the podcast, right? And I'll tell you this. I'm pretty sure they're going to bring up my Player Characters episode. And they're probably going to dig me out about something. And if I know Matt well enough, yeah, he's probably going to have recordings set up on his phone.
God!
He's going to play that mic because I did it once and he wants to be like me because he
so
knows I'm can. He's going to
predictable.
try and take my role. So that was my prediction anyway. And if they've done it, then I mean, probably don't listen next year. It's all going to be predictable nonsense. Know what I mean?
Also, David, you would also know, David, that I'm too lazy to do that.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go, I've actually got a recording of my own, Dave.
I mean, when you say they, I mean, first of all, Dave, that was incredible. I am the world's most predictable man of all time. Yeah, okay. So just on right, I mean, I will say, yeah, I thought you were great. But when you said expect to be paid, right? I don't expect anyone to pay for like this work we do, like because I enjoy it. It doesn't feel like work
all the time.
I don't know, but it's just like the words expect to be paid, like expect to be doing it for free. Like I do expect to do this for free because this isn't anything I would ever expect people to pay for. I don't do it to be expected to be paid. I just like I don't know.
No, I know what you're saying. No, my point is this, right? Is that there's, you know, I suppose what you did for me, in a sense, is that you sort of highlighted the fact that actually it's not bad to ask for money for the work that you're doing.
And I definitely agree. I 100% agree there. But it's just the choice of words like expect to be paid. Absolutely in no way in hell expect to be paid. I think you later on you mentioned about it is a lot of work. Editing and sorting stuff out. Like talking. But also you mentioned stuff like it's work like emailing companies to get code. Like it's an absolute privilege like to be able to get games for free to talk about on the show. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but I wouldn't ever expect it or expect to be paid for it.
I suppose, okay, I might have misspoken there. It's a hard thing to talk about, right? Because I'm not sort of saying... It's a hard thing to talk about because part of this podcasting stuff we do for fun, right? But it does take over your life, and there are times where I'm staying up late doing stuff for the podcast, and it's fucking making me shattered for the rest of the week and stuff like that. It is hard work.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's not an expectation to be paid. It's just, it makes life a little bit easier if it's being seen as like there's actually.
No, yeah, absolutely.
To talk about, but like it, we're at a position where we can make a little bit of money from this, and it is a very little bit of money. We're not earning, enough to stay alive with this sort of cash. But and what I'm saying is that I was always totally dead against the idea. And then when you started to explain to me, actually, what we're doing is a lot of work, and not to expect money, but to sort of being in a position to make some money from it is not a bad thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just a word expectation. I just want to say, everyone listen to the show. Like, I absolutely love doing, like doing a show every week, putting out as much content as we can. Like, this is all I want to do and all I love doing. It's like a pleasure to do it. Obviously, there's a lot you can do, but I, in absolutely no way, shape, no way in hell, Ash, ever expect.
Shit, I've got it right. I've got how I can explain it right. So, do you know in Watch Dogs? You played Watch Dogs, right?
With Van Robinson? No, I haven't played much of the first game.
You know when you can tap into just civilians and see how much money they've got above their head?
Oh yeah, I'm aware of that.
That's what Matt does to each and every one of you people.
Hey, fuck off.
When you tweet in, right, he's looking at what clothes you got, and your little picture and all that, and see how much money you got.
That's £5.
He's ruffled through so many pockets at the EGX computer game show meet. It's unbelievable. And he was just whispering in my ear, he's got a tenner. He opened up his wallet, he's got 20 quid. Let's get another T-shirt out next year. You know what I mean?
I just wanted to clarify. I thought you were great, and I thought it was a really great show, and it's really, like, generally really interesting, even though I know you're one of my best friends in the world. But it's also just really interesting.
One of what?
Did you say the best men's in the world?
One of my best friends in the world is what I said.
Best friends.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, no, you are my best friend. But this
one of the best men.
You are my best friend in the world, and
one of my best men's in the world.
Sorry, Jones.
Anyway, it ended with a great moment, and no one else picked this up either. Right? So this is Dave.
Oh, here comes another clip. Go on.
Oh, this is the last clip. I know. Yeah. So Dave's a guest on this show.
Yeah.
But he slipped into host mode. With the last...
I totally did.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's been great.
Thanks for coming on. Thank you for coming on. Dave was a guest.
I know. I picked up on that. I listened to the end of it.
I listened to that so many times.
I was so embarrassed.
Right, I'm going to say again.
No. That was...
He didn't say you should do the social bit now. You like the end?
Yeah. No.
Thank you so much for coming on. It's been great talking with you.
Thank you so much for coming on. What?
I just love the idea that everyone is just a supporting character in David's life.
Look, I know it might be on a show, but thanks for coming on to my show in a way.
I am genuinely glad that you picked up on that, because the first time I heard it back, I don't remember saying that at the time, and when I heard it back, I was like, oh my God, why have I thanked him for coming on his own show?
No one else picked it up. I can't believe it. But yeah, so Player Characters is a podcast you're on, and it's a really great listen. So everyone should check that out.
Yeah, it's basically just me talking about how I got into podcast and how we run this show and stuff like that. So if you're interested in the background workings of this, then give it a listen.
Such as they are.
I'll listen to it this week, and then I'll have recordings for you next week, David.
Predictable, James.
I'll sort out my counter recordings before next week's show. I like the fact that when I played my own clip, you guys were going, what the fuck is going on? Right, should we get back to feedback now?
Yes. So last week, Sean, and I think, there's a question about maybe like what's the best gift you may have received from a listener, or if you've sent like someone a weird, embarrassing gift. Anyway, there was a discussion of maybe that Chazzy, one of our friends, may have sent stuff to Sean. It wasn't. Just listen to Computer Game Show. I'd like to confirm to Sean, I've never given you any of those things you mentioned last week. The only thing I've sent you is your face superimposed onto a Captain Toad titled Captain Toss Treasure Tracker.
So that was a massive relief. Yeah, because that was very good.
It was one of the photoshops of our time, but it was not Chazzy. I mean, I knew it wasn't, but I just wanted to clarify. Last week, Dave mentioned he's been watching a lot of FIFA 18. Athena Allen, why has Dave been watching FIFA 18? Surely he's been watching FIFA 19.
Ooh,
I mean, Athena Allen knows which year it is. Dave?
Yeah, she knows what year it is, but then she also assumes that I've bought FIFA 19, but I haven't. So
Yeah, because your name's not James Farley.
exactly, and
I need one copy this year. It's been great.
FIFA 18 is
He says.
FIFA 18 is on EA Access, so technically free. But I will tell you this little anecdote. We were playing. We played through the World Cup. I forgot it's got the full World Cup mode, and of course you could do 2-player like on the same team. So Harry and I played through the full World Cup. Over the weekend, 2-player. For starters, that little motherfucker doesn't pass. Whether he's 40 yards out, that's it. He's just running straight for goal. The second, in the first game, he turned around. Remember, he's not a Man City fan. He's a he supports England, right? Like, and that's who we were playing as. Sterling scored, and he turned around and went, "Sterling scored? Sterling never scores." I was like, "Go on, son." So I was quite proud of him for that. But yeah, no, it was FIFA 18 we've been playing.
So how long does the whole World Cup mode take to go through, like qualifying and?
Well, what it is, there's 3 games in the group stages, Matt, and then you get through to the last 16, right? And then it goes to the quarterfinals, and then the semi-finals, and then the finals. So that's how long the World Cup. Why are you asking me that question?
Because I just thought it'd be like hours and hours and hours, but I guess
they're like 10-minute matches or whatever. So yeah, it's probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. But we didn't play it in one hit. We were saving and going back to it, and we made Joe sit and watch the final with the England flag that she had to wave whenever we scored.
Did you make everyone stand up for the national anthem?
No, we didn't. But he does that when we watch him. I'm worried that we're taking this too far, because when we are watching England play, he does stand up for the national anthem with his hand on his heart, and I'm like, "Oh, how far do I push this before it gets worrying?"
It's similar-ish in our household. When Elodie does her dance competitions and talent shows in front of us, there's always a medal ceremony where I also play the full national anthem on Spotify.
What do you mean you play it?
Well, I just like on Spotify and find national anthem,
and then in the corner or something.
and then Jill comes in with the medals, and we put them over our heads, and I never normally win.
It's just
it's great fun.
No, it's just like, I mean, the English national, the UK national anthem is so bad as well. It's so boring to listen to.
It's not great, but it's funny. Was it when Harry belts out "Send her Big-torious"? It's the funniest thing that I've ever heard. It's brilliant. I don't know. I love that stuff. Like, for the rest of the evening on Sunday, I just kept saying to Joe, "Are you proud of me? You proud of me and your boy? Yeah, we won the World Cup 4-0 against Spain." And not only that, like when we were playing Belgium, and every time Kevin De Bruyne got on the ball, I was laughing for about an hour as he just repeated it over and over again. It's just wonderful. I'm having a wonderful time playing FIFA with him. We all know that it's a bit of a mess, that game, but my God, did we have a good weekend with it?
FIFA 18. Sean R tweeted in.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Who keeps saying basically that's me? That's another one of my
I genuinely wonder because I'm not
I didn't pick up on it.
Yeah, I'm not very good at picking up on my own ticks, so I thought this could be me.
Yeah. There's only one, right? And sorry to bring this up, like, because I know I've got my own, so I'm not having a pop. But there's only one that I cannot not ignore, right? And that's in the beginning. I like. We all know that.
Who says that?
Apparently, I say it all the time, but no more.
Okay.
He said it about 40 times last week. And James, I'm not having a pop. I say the same shit over and over again. We've all got these ticks, right? We've all got them.
Remember saying it. Oh,
that's what a tick is. So in the beginning, I love it every time I hear it.
I wonder how long our podcast would be if we removed all the ticks, and it's actually like 15 minutes.
That's what's great is they are like totally superfluous as well. They're not like any functional part of any sentence. You can always, like, whatever your tick is, you could just totally remove it and nothing would change. Like, yeah.
Pangram Soup dropped a message on the Discord. I love the whole there's always one guy in uniform chat when we talk about in service stations. Or actually, Dave mentioned it. I've never noticed it before, but love that there's always one guy in uniform chat. Never really noticed it before, but that's because I used to be that guy. Always wondered what normal people were thinking when the coachload of 60 squaddies stopped at services and descended on a McDonald's or Burger King like a strangely dressed, overly loud, angry-looking, and very hungry flash mob.
Well,
so Pangram Soup is that guy. I mean, maybe he's just been in every single motorway service station. There's always been one guy.
No, two things there. Firstly, they're always the most polite people in there, because of course they are. The second thing is that it's never a group of them. It's just one or two all the time, right? And then the other thing is this, like, when this episode went out, John, I was playing Rocket League with John, and he was like, "What the fuck were you talking about on the service station stuff?" Like, I don't think I've ever seen someone in uniform at a service station. I was like, I swear, everyone I go in. That week, he was in a service station, sent me a photo of some bloke in an army uniform in the corner. He was like, "Okay, maybe you were right. I just haven't noticed it before."
Yeah, I mean, I've never noticed it, but now I'm going to be looking for it.
Yeah, you will, and you'll see one, guaranteed.
Yeah. Thomas Lama Fluff 42, with James growing increasingly grumpy, and Matt prone to madcap tangents, possibly, who will keep order in the post-Turner era? I think you need to enlist the help of a listener guest host, one who would take no shit. My vote goes to Athene Allen. What do you think?
Right, am I not here?
I was going to say, like,
Sean, you're here, but you're not the most assertive. But I think without me,
2019,
you're going to step up. I think you're going to step up. You're going to get to the point where you just go, James, will you just read the fucking emails? Like, it will start off slow. It will take maybe 2 months, I reckon, to get going. By the end of the second month, you'll be like, Matt, shut the fuck up. James, just read the fucking emails, because this is going on for too long.
Might be right.
Sean's going to go insane. Sean's going to follow up the social bit. He'll do like the news. It's like me and James carrying in the corner.
You'll be going, okay, you're gonna start the. This will be the first sign. You're gonna go, right. Okay, we all ready? We're ready. Yeah. Sean will just go, done a test recording, James, and then that'll be it. That'll be when he switches over to teacher mode. And
no. So on the first episode, like, so what? How we do our sound, like align our audios. We also 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Then Matt, Sean, like, okay, a new year, guys. It could be 3, 2, 1. Sean. That's it now. We're gonna change it.
Putting his
it's all different in 2019.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last message we're going to have on this bridge chat. But Dan messaged in, I've never shared my favourite bridge fort, despite asking the question. So this is going to be the end of it. Really would have to be the Barton Swinging Bridge near Trafford Centre, because of its long history, and fictional would have to be the Mushroom Bridge from Double Dash. Also, big up T-Base Services, definitely the best one.
Oh my God, I looked up T-Base Services. It looks well shit, Matt. Well shit. I can almost guarantee there's not even a crane machine in there. I can almost guarantee it.
I actually thought of another bridge that I like.
Go on. I said this will be the end of it, but maybe this will have a whole heap of follow-up.
The toll bridge in Warburton. It's also near the Trafford Centre. That's what it reminded me of, kind of. It's got a toll booth on it, right? And I think they've now updated it so that it's got a card machine. But until like last year, you'd approach it and be like, oh shit, there's a toll booth. You know, you rummage around, get your card out, whatever. It was cash only, and it was like 12p. Like, it was always like a really weird amount of small change that you were just like, what? Why? Why? This isn't even worth your time stopping me to get. And it was always manned as well. It wasn't just a machine. There was someone in there. And it was literally like 12p.
About 12p an hour. Yeah. I mean, the other thing about service stations, right? Who goes to a service station and goes, oh, do you know what I really need? A cover for my mobile phone. Like, I'm going to get that from a service station. There's always a massive mobile phone cover shot. It makes no sense.
There's enough of them that they must do okay.
Like, exactly. Yeah. It's just weird. It's weird. All right.
And last bit of follow-up. Kurt Lewin was at a pub quiz tonight, and there was a question about Rosa Parks, and I immediately thought of the computer game show and Matt, and I was like, oh, okay, awesome. I can't remember what else I said. And he's like, I got it wrong. I couldn't remember her name. None of us could. Had a total blank moment.
God.
This is why I'm saying it, Kurt, and you still got it wrong.
A couple of weeks ago, I was playing Rocket League again with John. I'm always playing Rocket League with John. And I turned around to him and said, do you remember when Matt tried to tell everyone who Rosa Parks was? And then we laughed for about an hour.
But it's still not getting through to people like Kurt.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to talk about it more, mate.
Yeah. I'm trying to educate the masses, and it's not working, clearly.
That was so
anyway.
funny.
That's it for follow-up. If you want to leave follow-up, it's at ComputerGamePod on Twitter. You can drop a message at Discord, or you can email thecomputergameshow@gmail.com.
Okay, James, you know what time it is?
This is the news. Work has resumed on The Walking Dead's final season.
Hey! Who's making it?
Really? Are we cheering that?
I guess so. I mean, this is weird because this was news that broke just as we were finishing recording last week, but I didn't want to prolong like what was going on, so I thought I'll just leave it for this week.
Yeah, I actually saw this as we were recording. I was like, I bet I'll mention it because then people will know I've been on my phone. So,
okay,
yeah.
All right.
So anyway, so it's Skybound. So this is Robert Kirkman's company. Have stepped in to finish it, and
yeah, we knew that.
Release dates for the 2 remaining episodes are going to be announced soon.
Okay.
And regarding who's doing it, Skybound have said many of the talented, passionate team members who originally worked on the game are resuming development.
So
efforts.
fuck all news then, really. Fuck
Yeah.
all news.
I mean,
But no. There is something.
Many of is a very vague.
Yeah.
Yeah, because many of got other jobs.
Yeah.
But there is more because apparently, according to Skybound, the earlier seasons that have all disappeared from the digital stores are going to return.
Okay.
And so that they'll be coming back, and anyone who bought a season pass won't have to pay again either for the rest of it.
Cheers.
Well, I was going to say, thank God.
Imagine if it's the other way around. Oh, buddy, you got to buy it again.
That is the kind of thing I can imagine them doing, though. And then
it needs some money, baby.
What?
So I wonder who's getting the cash from buying the old seasons. People buying the old seasons now.
Well,
presumably Skybound, yeah.
Has it all been right?
Yeah, they must have taken it. Yeah, they must own IP now.
What have Skybound developed previously? What is it?
Well, they don't, do they? Because they just
because they mostly do
company, aren't they?
TV shows and stuff, don't they?
Wait. Slow down one at a time. They mostly do what, Matt?
It's like TV and movies, isn't it? They do.
No, but they're like they're a holding company, aren't they? For like the whole Walking Dead properties, they just like farm it out to other developers and do stuff. I mean, there was also like the mobile game and all that kind of thing, and there was a rubbish first-person shooter.
It looks like I'm just having a look now. It looks like they do like physical versions of indie stuff.
Right. Okay.
So they've done they've distributed like Hollow Knight and Skullgirls and The Long Dark and Slime Rancher and stuff like that. So I guess that's...
Well, I'll say this. I mean, if anything positive could possibly come out of this, if a proper development studio can come out of this sort of rising from the... Was it flames or whatever?
Ashes.
That's the one. Rising for the ashes. If they can establish a decent developer studio out of this, then that's probably the best, end to this story, isn't it? I mean, if they go on to then start making names, they've certainly got some writers over there. Some decent writers.
Yeah, and it's just good to finally see the end of Clementine's story. I mean,
is it? Did you play?
Yeah, why not?
Played any of this season?
I played the first 2. I played the first 2 and then stopped because like a lot of people I stopped couldn't be asked. But I mean, it'd be sad. It was sad to see it just like fall into nothing after it's starting so incredibly strongly with the first season, and it'll be good to get some closure on that for sure.
They were good games, seriously. I mean, even the most recent series was good. It was an improvement on what
the first 2 were really good actually. I didn't go back when the third one came out, but.
Yeah, well, you're part of the problem, Matt. You're the reason why this has all happened.
In many ways, it is my fault. So, apologies.
Okay, so Valve have also pulled the plug on their Steam Link hardware. So, this was the hardware that they had that allowed you to stream PC games to your TV. It was like a HDMI sort of thing, and it's been discontinued. So, European stocks are already done, and although it's weird because they said the box was still receiving updates as recently as last month, but then they've still cancelled it. And now they've shifted all their efforts to Steam Link software. So this is so that you can stream to iOS and Android devices from your PC.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. And to be honest, I'm surprised it lasted this long because if you remember about a year ago in America, they were selling them for fucking nothing. It was like £6. I think, if I remember correctly, postage was more expensive than the hardware.
Yeah, that's how it's been. Last week in America, it's like $2. I don't know what the UK price, but it's $2.50, and basically, but a tenner to get shipped. So, yeah, it's been the same. Well, although I've also learned that after seeing this and some other stories about this and people talking about it, that actually Samsung TVs 2017 and onwards all include Steam Link built in. So
I was going to say because if this works with Android, then that's what a lot of TVs
I mean, I've got 2016 Samsung, so I don't have that functionality.
The only thing that's a shame about this is because I was been reading some of like Digital Foundry. They did like some work on these things, and it's like apparently the software versions are not anywhere near as good because apparently this was very good, like in terms of like streaming hardware. And you're never going to really get, maybe not quite as good, with our software solutions.
Of course it will. Technology will get better. It'll be fine.
I think is it the Wi-Fi stuff more than anything? Because obviously with the Steam Link box, you could wire it in.
Yeah.
I was like, that is the way to use it. Whereas obviously streaming to your tablet or whatever.
Yeah, it's never quite as good.
But you can wire your TV in.
Yeah, you can.
So it'll get better. Technology will get better, and these things will be fine. It's probably the way to go. No one wants a dedicated box just for that. But to do it through softwares, it's the future. Go on.
Well, the annoying thing is, like, this piece actually references the iOS app, but it actually got removed from the store this year because it contravened some Apple App Store rules about.
If you're selling stuff through your app, then they need a cut of it. Apple needs a cut of it.
Yeah, of course.
So that was removed.
It'd be tasty because wasn't there another PC streaming thing that were like, Nintendo have said we're fine to put this on the Switch, so we're going to do it.
What?
So there was a similar piece of software that allowed you to stream your PC to your tablet or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of these. I can't remember the one you're talking about, but there's also Shadow recently.
Yeah.
There's all that GeForce Now stuff, which and those oh god, what they're called? Anyway, GeForce Now is like the software, I think the streaming from which is currently in beta, and the guy who works going is he can basically stream any one of his Steam games up to 4K on his TV for nothing because this software, while it's in beta, is free. And he said he's really impressed. So two of them can work, but I think the box is like 150 quid with a controller this week for Black Friday.
Okay.
So,
there was one of these anyway that were just like, we've approached Nintendo and they've said, here's a dev kit.
Oh, shit.
So if Valve wanted to have a go at that, that'd be very good.
Playing your PC games on your Switch.
Yeah, man.
That seems mental. I mean,
it is mental.
Part of the
Forza Horizon 4, mate.
Part of the reason why you're, part of the reason why the Switch is surviving at the moment is because of indie games that you can also get on Steam. So and they're cheaper on there.
Yeah. Sean,
you are then tethered to you. Exactly.
Sean, I think it's called Rainway. Is that the one you're thinking about?
Oh, possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Next.
It's happening.
Okay. There's also.
It's happening.
That was out of nowhere. It's happening.
It's happening.
God.
There's also a new Assassin's Creed free to play. It is free. I don't know where I'm going with that. There's a new Assassin's Creed free to play game with a monthly subscription offer. So this is the thing, because Matt was quite excited about this when he told us about it.
Fuck.
No, it's true, because you posted it in the WhatsApp group and then nobody responded. But
that happens a lot, actually, James. I was just shocked. So there's a mobile game with like an £8.49 a month subscription just to give like a boost in like XP and stuff. That's what I was saying.
Do you ever get that thing in WhatsApp groups where someone posts something and you're like, I'm not really interested and I want to talk about something else, but I need to give it like 5 minutes.
Just let that one die for a little bit, and then I'll get involved. They call that the Matt Murray effect.
That never happens with Dave, because you can be in the middle of a conversation, he'll just suddenly barge in with something, and I'm like, David, we're talking about something else.
It's totally true. The thing is, I'm just erratic on those things. Have you noticed that there'll be like 5 minutes where it's just a pure stream of consciousness just bellowing out onto the WhatsApp groups, like spewing it onto my phone?
You get that, and then it's always just like, how do I deal with this?
You just got to do what Sean does and type "ha ha ga." Go on.
Anyway, James.
So this is a new. It's like a sort of cheapified, like Assassin's Creed.
Yep.
It's happening.
What do you mean cheapified Assassin's Creed?
Well, no, it's like Assassin's Creed, but they've made them all like sort of chibi style characters.
Yeah, chibi, not cheapy.
Right. Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
You've made it with chibi?
No, I've no idea what chibi is. What is it?
You're probably, it's fine. You're better off not knowing. Okay. I think Funko Pops. It's like all of that stuff. It's all similar.
Think Funko Pops, Dave. Now.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is basically just another free-to-play game, but they've got an auto-renewing subscription offer, which costs £8.49 a month.
That's really pricey, isn't it?
Yeah, you get a 20% boost on rewards and progression.
Well, this is it again. It's one of these where it's like, you can pay a sub and you get extra stuff. It's like, no, you just get to like skip bits. So it's like have you made a fun game or not?
But you
have
see,
you made
this
a game
is-
that I want to play or that I want to fucking skip through? That I'm
but
going to
Sean,
pay money to not play it.
Someone's got to be buying it. Surely.
Well, yeah.
Otherwise
That's
they're
the
just
thing, right?
gonna-
We had like 4 games where you spent like, whatever the price was on mobile, say £5, £6, £7, and then that was great. And then it said, actually, no, how about it's free, but then you like pay for boosts. And now we've gone
And
to
it
the
was
fucking
awful.
subscription model for boosts. I mean,
know, but this is
insane.
why I've always had a big problem with free to play, because it means that you're basically designing your game to try and do this, to try and make as much money as possible, and it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just horrible. I don't like it.
Imagine
I mean,
sitting down
everyone's
and,
designing their game to make it as much.
Yeah, I was gonna
money
say,
as
it's a
possible.
bit-
No, but
James.
it's no, but there's ways of doing it so that it's not so cynical and
We know.
exploitative as this.
We know, but the thing is, that's it, isn't it? I mean, they're clearly testing the waters to see if anyone's stupid enough to buy this sort of shit.
and they will be, unfortunately.
It's scary.
Can you imagine
Will
though, just
they?
sitting down and being like, look, right, I can spare like a tenner a month for like a subscription. I could get Netflix, or I could get Game
Spotify?
Pass,
Yeah.
Spotify, or actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to subscribe to Assassin's Creed Rebellion.
What
Yeah,
the
I'm
fuck?
going to
No,
get
that's the
Animus.
same price as fucking Game Pass.
I'm going to get Animus Premium Access.
You get DNA cubes. It's
And just walking around and being like, Netflix subscription, no thank you.
Making a murderer. Forget that. Making a lot of XP.
More
Know what I
like
mean?
making an assassin in a. Yeah, I think it was
No,
better
my
actually.
XP one was better. Go
Yeah,
on.
it was better, but I'd always started at that point, so you can't
Next
stop
story.
it.
Okay, so also Nintendo. I hate these kind of stories, but it's been. I'll be
What are
honest.
you reading it
but
out
you-
for then?
Because it's been
You
a
curate the
terrible
news,
week.
James.
Sean. Okay, Sean. What are you expecting? Do you really think I'm going to come here with like one story or whatever for the entire thing?
No,
Imagine
but
what would happen with that.
Read the news, not fucking.
Yeah,
comment
just
on
pretend
before
you like
even
it.
read out.
Well, no, because I know that you're just going to have a go about this because it's a terrible news story. I mean, it's
defensive. Go on.
basically Nintendo have secured another load of trademarks for a load of games that might come out on mobile. There you go. And also, but there is one good thing because apparently Skyward Sword may be coming to the Switch. That's been
Right.
a rumor as
I
well.
heard this and I was excited, and all I've seen on Twitter has been like, "Oh, it's the shit one."
No, it's not.
Skyward
When did
Sword's
that?
gonna be really
when
good,
did everyone
right?
decide that Skyward Sword was shit? When did that happen?
I've heard that it's really good.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard that is, it's got its problems, but in that period of Zelda games, that is meant to be like the one shining beacon, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's what I
not the
thought.
one. What was the one before it? I fucking hated.
Twilight Princess.
Oh my
Twilight
god!
Princess
Yeah.
was great. I really love that.
Dog shit.
No,
It
no, I
was
mean,
not.
yeah.
I replayed it recently. It was good.
Oh, yeah, do you like the
I
bit where you were a
loved-
wolf for a bit for no reason? Do you like that bit?
It wasn't for no reason, you
was
idiot.
No, it was the waggle. The waggle's annoying. I mean, I love my Wii for the first year, and I love Zelda, but even I was like, "Fuck this! I can't
Yeah,
do
But
it."
Skyward Sword was the king of waggle. The whole thing was
I
designed
never
around that.
King of
I never
Waggle.
played that.
The thing is, I can't play, like, I've played Breath of the Wild now. I can't go back to that. I can't go back to that. You know what I mean? Oh, you got to find your sword and your shield and shit. I don't want to do it. I don't want to fucking find an item. Just
Anyway, in terms of this rumor, I mean, James, have you got the quote or what?
No, I've not got the quote.
Okay, well, but yeah, so there was basically like
No, I've not done
a
my
Zelda.
work.
I mean, I'll do news for him. There was a Zelda music concert in Japan, and is it Onuma came on stage and said, "I know what you're thinking. Skyward Sword for Switch, right?" And then there's massive applause, and basically the stories have originated from that.
whoa. I need to know what happened after the sword. After
Well,
the applause. What happened after
It
the
doesn't.
applause?
It doesn't say after that. Nothing. I presume the concert carried
There's
on.
no story there. So
Well, that's what everyone's basing it off, Dave.
So in my head, he come on, he said, "I know what you're thinking, right? Skyward Sword for the Switch." Everyone applauded, and then he just walked off. Like, that's what's happened in my head. What happened after that?
Just stony face, just didn't even react to the
He
audience.
must have said something after.
He just did a shit on stage and left. I don't know what.
That is so weird. That's
Well,
weird.
yeah, I mean, but anyway, I mean, I haven't played this Skyward Sword. James, you have.
I've only played it a bit. I mean, I will buy it for the third time, so I can actually maybe get around to playing it. But yeah, it's yeah.
Did you
Anyway, in
complete
terms
the Twilight Princess then, James?
Yeah, of course.
Really? I mean, that was the
I
one.
played-
that came
I mean,
out on
I
both Wii and Wii U, right?
No. Okay, Twilight Princess came out on GameCube and Wii because it was the Twilight
GameCube
Princess
and
was
Wii,
the one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
it was the one that was like a launch for the Wii, and it
that's
was
the one that I fucking hated. Yeah.
Because I played, because also they re-released it on Wii U like not so long ago, and so I played it on that, and I played it with Rachel. She absolutely loved it. She was great.
Well, tell her she needs a better. She needs a better opinion on the game.
Yeah, tell her sort of
she's
life
never
out.
coming on this show.
Well, she's seen the whole game, and you've played it for about an hour, and decided didn't like it because it had waggle.
I played it for an hour.
You just said you hated it because it had waggle.
I did. I didn't say that I played it for an hour. I've
finished
played it for about
65 hours, wasn't it,
Dave? I didn't
Dave?
get anywhere near finishing it. It was awful. Shit.
Anyway, this story that James left to die, basically, so it's a good trademarks, right? But they're all basically
boring, isn't it? I mean, look, it's just
let me finish the story, James.
Look, this is the story, right? You've got
they're doing it now.
Basically, all they've done is they've just trademarked Twilight Princess, Wii Sports Resort, Kirby's Dream Land, Art Academy, and Mario and Luigi's Inside Story. The thing that everyone's getting excited about is the fact that they've said that the trademarks reference program for home video game system, downloadable video game program, and program for smartphone. And so everyone's saying, oh, maybe these are going to come out on iOS or whatever, and that's what's going to happen. But these could just be renewals because they do them all the time. That's why this is practically a non-story.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Also, where the hell was Mario Kart for the fucking...
Exactly. It's like, that's more of a thing. What happened to it?
Oh, shit, yeah.
What about it? Yeah, and it's Nintendo, isn't it? You can't trust it. Well, I don't trust like that. I don't trust like that.
It's happening.
Can that be your new catchphrase? I love it. I'm not even taking the piss, Matt. I love it. I think that should be your catchphrase. Love it. Go on,
James.
Okay, final news story is that Rocket League is finally getting its Xbox One X support in December.
Oh, thank God.
Fuck yeah. Is that going to make any difference? What does it do?
It genuinely does. Like,
okay.
I said the first time I got my PS4 Pro, and I'm not even fucking around, right? I played was it Uncharted and Horizon, and I was like, oh yeah, this looks slightly better than the game that it was before. And then I put on Rocket League in 4K, and I was like, fucking hell, all right.
Yeah, I was the same. I was like, you can see the grass.
Well, the thing is, right, it's not so much about like how good it looks, because Rocket League is not an incredible looking game. It's it's been built to play on as many systems as it can and all that sort of stuff. It's not, and it was built on a low budget, so it's not a glorious looking game. But the 4K stuff is really noticeable because you're looking so far ahead of you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like the other end of the pitch or whatever. It can the draw distance, and you're looking in great detail as well, because you want to like study what's going on, where the ball is bouncing. It's quite important. And the first time I played that in 4K, I was like, right, okay, this is why I got a Pro. Ironically, this is why I got a Pro. And I think also a lot of it is because I've put hundreds of hours into that game, so I'm bound to notice the change a lot more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when you go from playing it on my Pro back to the Xbox One X, I'm just like, oh my God, what have they? Why is this not here already? It's taken a long while to get here, but I'm very, very excited for this update. I can't wait. And it also means that the new Rocket Pass is coming out, which I'm definitely going to buy because this one's been great. And new seasons, new events. So yeah, I mean, all that stuff is dressing around Rocket League, but I'm so into that game at the moment that I'm quite happy to for it to be in 4K now is a big deal for me.
Yeah, so it's native 4K, like 60 frames per second as well, and there's going to be HDR support, but that's no good for you.
No, it's no good for me. But the native 4K stuff will be worth it. Because does that mean seriously, Matt, you'll know this better than I will. The PS4 Pro can't do native 4K at all. Is that right?
I don't think that's the case. But basically, it's got this thing where it sort of doubles the pixels. But I'm not Digital Foundry. I mean, I think it probably can, but I don't think it's that common.
So I'd like to know if the Xbox One X version is going to look even better than the PS4 version does, even though that looks great. I can't imagine it looking much better because, again, down to the original art style and what it's been built from, it's not surprising. I can't see there like a massive jump between the two consoles, but yeah, no, just getting 4K on the X because that's where I've been playing my Rocket League these days. I've been playing it on the Xbox, so I'm happy that it's coming. It's a good game,
yeah, so I basically it's not native 4K on PS4 Pro.
Right. Okay. So in theory, it should look a little bit nicer. But
Yeah, in theory, yeah.
Yeah, maybe HDR make it look a little bit better.
In terms of the Rocket Pass, I know we talked about it briefly when it first came out, but so when you've obviously completed your first Rocket Pass, is there a way, or have you amassed enough credits to get the next one for free, or do you have to pay cash for the next one?
I think you can do. I think I've collected 9 keys between then and now, but I've spent them all on opening crates, which is so stupid because
technically you can earn enough to cover the next season.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it is quite funny because when I first started playing it, like the top known prize was at level 70, and I was going, there is 0 chance of me making it all the way to level 70 before the season runs out. There's no chance. I think I'm at 129 now.
I said you'd smash it.
It's just ridiculous. Yeah, but it was another double XP weekend this weekend, so I leveled up loads. Good game, good game.
Yeah, they got Frosty Fest 2018 coming as well.
Yeah, that's a bit of it. I mean, it's relatively okay. They've done these sort of things where you get tokens the more you play, and then you can spend them on specific themed items. So, I mean, if there's a Santa's hat in there, spoiler, there fucking will be. And if there's a Santa's hat in there, then I'll buy that and rock around with that over Christmas. I'll be happy with that. Yeah, did you notice, like, I know this isn't in the news or anything, but did you notice that they're still adding costumes to Super Mario Odyssey?
Are they? Yeah, I saw people kicking off because the Santa one was already in. Yeah.
What do you mean? The Santa one was already in?
Well, I heard some people say, "Oh, they've updated us. The Santa costume's already in it. It wasn't even like it was only it's only November or whatever." Oh, people complaining for complaining.
Yeah, no, it's in there and it's relatively cheap, so we've already bought that one. But I'm just praying, like, that they add snow to New Donk City on Christmas Day, because how good would that be?
That would be good. I can't see it happening.
It won't happen, but still, it would be. You got a dream in it.
I miss those days where you could like change the clock on the Sega Saturn and
just that Christmas nights thing was just the best. Like, so good, so good.
Anyway, more on that later, maybe. James,
that's it. That's all we got.
Cool. Yeah. Straight onto what you've been playing then. Who should we start with? Should we start with James this week? Let's start with James Farley.
Yeah, it's been a bit. I haven't played a lot this week. Is that you, Matt? Because I'm not in the mood at all. It was you, wasn't it?
Wasn't me. Can't see me. Got no proof, mate.
I think it was Sean.
Yeah, Sean is changing.
Sean, he was just about to start.
He's going to kick off everyone and start making silly noises.
That's right.
James isn't going to know where to look.
You just calm down there, Sean. Go on.
So anyway, I've only played 2 things this week, really, like in any sort of detail. One is Spider-Man, which I'm still absolutely loving, although I am beginning to find that there is a significant downside to the game, which I don't know if you found the same thing, Matt, which is that I was enjoying the exploration stuff, like activating the radio towers and stuff, but as the game progresses, they keep doing the same thing over and over again. They keep adding new things to do exactly the same thing with, as in, like, just, go around the city, activate whatever, or catch whatever,
It does keep adding more and more collectibles, but again, it was so fun. I didn't mind. I mean, there was a point I was like, okay, I'm not going to do all these things, but yeah, it continually adds more and more things to collect and amass.
Well, they did a pretty good one, which was that one with with the cat, where you have to like find all the cats.
Oh yeah. All the cat lure missions are simple and quick, and I thought they were really good actually. Yeah,
that was good. And then I met some guy, and he was like, "Can you find all my pigeons?" And I was like, "I don't really want to do that."
But see, the thing with the pigeons is that you'll be swinging around the city, and suddenly like a pigeon will basically be ahead of you. Like suddenly a target will appear, so you will just naturally just grab them as you see them as you're swinging around town.
Yeah, but either way, that's just got a bit. I don't know. They keep, as you said, they keep adding collectibles. I've not enjoyed that as much.
Well, that's something that a lot of people were criticising the game about, wasn't it? I mean, I saw a lot of positives about this game, but one of the things that people seemed less happy about was, yes, it does the normal formula stuff very well, but then it sort of double downs on it a bit and it gets a little bit tiresome. I mean, I've not played it. I might be fine with that. But is it not easily missed? Because I think
it's easier to ignore.
I'm sure we'll talk about Red Dead a little bit later. But one thing that I did notice about that game is that there's so much to do in that world, right? Which is what we've spoken about for a number of weeks now. But not at any point does your map get cluttered. And I've always kind of sort of defended that sort of stuff and saying, look, if there's cool stuff to do, then do it. But Red Dead handles that so well, where it's like the map should be cluttered with stuff, but instead of it putting it on the map, you just sort of walk into that sort of shit, and it makes it feel a little bit different. Do you know what I mean?
But then don't you feel like you're going to miss stuff potentially? Through that?
I mean, it must be an absolute fucking nightmare for people that want to just 100% everything. It must be a nightmare because, constantly. I mean, one of the biggest problems I've had with Red Dead is that when you ride past a stranger, sometimes they don't clearly show up on your map as you're riding past. So I've had people going, help me, help. And I'm looking around. I haven't got a fucking clue where they are. You know what I mean? And that must be well frustrating for people that love that shit. So yeah, no, I get that. But for me personally, from my point of view, I much prefer the way that Red Dead does it than some of these games that sort of litter maps. You know what I mean?
So yeah, I mean, with this, it's like it kind of feels like they're adding that every time that I come across some sort of new side mission or whatever. You know, it's like suddenly there's another load of things to collect, and it's like that's fine, but it's just like, as I said, I got to the pigeons, and I'm like, that's a bit much. You know, like a bit.
Every side quest is like it's just a hidden amount of like fucking work to do.
Yeah, and it is really
side quest. Here's 5,000 objects to find.
And it is really fun to like just swing around the city. I mean, it really does never get old. I mean, I've unlocked the fast travel so you can go between places, but I never do because it's still just fun to just.
Yeah, I did that once just for an achievement, but the rest of the time I was swinging around.
But it's but that's the only thing. But the main story is a lot more engaging than I was expecting as well, and it's got like a really sort of light tone, but then things really do change. But in a kind of, I mean, I wish all of you have played it more, so then we can sort of discuss it further.
Yeah, I wish everyone had played it because I thought it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
The problem, I've just got no interest in that character or that world, and I've got nothing against the game. I'm sure it's brilliant. I've just literally no interest in it, and I can't really work out why. I mean, as you said, I love the Batman games, and I'm not a massive Batman fan either. So,
and if you love them, you'll definitely love this.
And it also feels, I mean, I'll tell you what this feels a lot like me too, is Crackdown. Like, it really, to me, it feels a lot like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's got the same orb sound, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Basically.
The sort of like, the traversal of the city, like, feels really similar to me, but actually more fun than Crackdown, I thought. But
maybe closer, maybe next year when I'm struggling with things to play, I'll pick it up. But there's no way I'm doing it this year. No chance.
It's interesting, like you mentioned, like the traversal and stuff, because like I was saying when we were talking about Anthem a while ago, how just being able to press a button and fly wherever is just not interesting. Looks great in trailers, but actually it's that limitation that makes it interesting, having a super ability that lets you get around more than a normal person would, but is still like you've got to think about it a little bit.
With this, it all depends. Because it's the mechanics make it fun. It's like because swinging from places, it's not as easy as just pressing a button. It is, you do have to like consider when you're going to do it, and like to get the maximum speed and stuff like that, which makes it just a lot more fun. Really, especially when
that sounds like proper. Well, it sounds like a mix between Crackdown, with the jumping and especially the climbing in that game, where all of a sudden you're going from rooftop to rooftop to actually looking up to the towers and going, what can I grab hold of? And also a little bit like Tony Hawk. Do you know what I mean? Where, you getting from one place to the other, you can do really quickly, but you got to fucking think about your line,
they also
in terms of momentum as well. Like momentum just feels so good to chain that together to do because you can swing forward, you can do like a jump, and you learn other moves to make it easier and faster. But the momentum and the feeling of swinging, like maybe if you go really close down to the ground and then go really high up and then this and the other, that never stops feeling brilliant. It's the best traversal I've felt in a game for years, really.
Yeah, because you can like sort of link stuff together as well. Because like you're saying the Tony Hawk thing, and it actually is a lot like that. Because you can do like tricks as well, like when you're flying through the air. So you chain stuff together, and you get like XP boosts from it doing it. And it's just, I mean, the combat also, I think, is excellent. Like, the more skills you unlock, it also becomes like a lot of fun to like sort of just like swing around all these people like trying to shoot you and stuff, but you can just like dodge out the way, like jump onto a building, then like sort of like push yourself towards them and then like grab them in a net and things. It's really fun. It's
There's also like a bunch of different enemy types. There's like, I think they call them elites or maybe brutes, but there's the guys where you can't just knock them out straight away, and maybe you have to shoot them with web or daze them and do some other stuff. So it does add some different complexities in the combat.
Well,
I mean, the combat for me was the weakest part of the game. I never truly fell in love with that like I did with the other parts of the game, story, writing, characters, etc. But it was fine, and it did get more fun as I unlocked more stuff, and it made fighting easier.
Mm-hmm. But I think with the combat, I've really found that you really have to sort of like think about it when you're doing it. Like, you can't. It doesn't feel like completely like instinctive what you're doing because there's so many moves that you can like use, particularly after you've started unlocking stuff. That like every time I go into combat, I have to think, okay, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do this. But it works like very well. You know, it's it is excellent. I mean, the only other thing I've played this week has been Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and I'm still enjoying it. I'm about 10 hours in, and I've really found that like handheld mode is the way to play this because the motion controls when you've got it like plugged in are terrible. I mean, have you played this at all plugged in, Matt?
Yeah, I played actually for the first time this weekend. I played it plugged in, and I actually played 2-player. I managed to get Elodie to actually play Pokemon with me, which was an amazing moment for me. And yes, it's actually you having to use a motion to swing the ball to throw at the Pokemon was
it's irritating.
It wasn't great.
Yeah, it never sort of works quite well. It's I mean it's I think it must be that they work out like how you're holding it or whatever, and if you're holding it in the wrong way, it always just goes all over the place, and it's terrible. It's not. Really good.
Even playing like handheld, I still find I basically just wait for the Pokemon to reach the center, then throw it. It's not like iOS where you can really angle your shots and spin shots and all sorts. That's really good for that. But for this, I just wait till it's in the middle, then just throw forward. So that feels way more simple than even I'm used to, just on the iOS version.
What's the combat in that game? Is it back to menu picking?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
basically,
it hasn't, because that's not in Pokemon Go, is it?
No, Pokemon. You just throw the Pokeball and then
and it decides whether you win
and that's it. Yeah, I mean, like some like for the Pokemon you see and try to catch with higher combat powers, you maybe give them some fruit to calm them down, or you've got to get an excellent to get them. But yeah, there's no moves in Pokemon Go. It's just throw the ball and hope for the best. Well, where's this? It's basically there's 4 buttons. There's like fight or items or something else, or exit, and you choose that. You've got 4 moves. You do that. The combat's really simplistic.
What is it missing from a mainline?
It's not missing it. Okay, this is what's happened with this, because there seems to have been a lot of confusion with people about what this game is. This game...
Slow down. You caused a lot of that confusion. I remember constantly going, yeah, but it's not a real Pokemon.
That was not me. That was Matt. That was Matt.
But also, like, the Pokemon Company themselves have said the proper Pokemon game will be out next year.
The proper new one. This is a remake of Pokemon Yellow. Like, it's that. Right. That's what this is. And what they've done is they've just modified the way that you catch Pokemon so that it fits more with Pokemon Go. Like, originally in Pokemon Yellow, you had to like combat against Pokemon to try and capture them, whereas now you just have to use like throw a Pokeball in the same way as Pokemon Go. That's the only difference. But this is like a full game. This is like a full proper Pokemon game. It's just that they've changed around the way you pick stuff up or not.
Well, the message.
It's so simplistic though, isn't it?
Yeah, but all of these games are really simplistic, Matt. This is why I've never got on with them.
That detailed RPG with like amazing.
No, I told you this is my first RPG. This is what these games are. It's one of the reasons why I've never really massively got into them, because I've never found them like deep enough in terms of like story and everything. But now I'm probably going to get a lot of people saying, "No, you're wrong. It's in Pokemon Moon. It's like whatever." But I don't know. I never, I just never really got on with that. But this, I am enjoying playing this, and the kids are absolutely loving it. Like I play with Asha and with Rachel like quite frequently, like in 2-player mode or whatever. But then also they're quite into Pokemon, especially my son. And the other day, he had a massive argument with Chen. Like I came into the room and they were like not shouting at each other, but getting annoyed because he kept on saying, like, she kept on saying, "You haven't got a childminder," and he was like, "I have got a childminder," and she misunderstood, and he meant a Charmander.
Oh.
But yeah,
it's almost as if actually listening to that and what you're saying about my first Pokemon game, it's almost as if it's not aimed at 40-year-old dads.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. It is totally aimed at my kids, not me, and that's why I've never played these that much. Which is, I've just never felt. But now people are going to get hate for that as well. It's like, but it's just, I don't know.
Okay, but so just to make sure I'm not missing anything, the compelling reason why people love his games is to collect all the Pokemon. That's it, right? It's not story. There's no. It's just really just collecting.
And it's like to you, I'm sure people are into the lore, but I
just wanted to check in case I was missing anything.
Saying,
no, I mean, like
Matt,
you can just play
catch them all, right?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Those are the rumors.
I mean, the way I always took it with Pokemon games was like do the story, and then if you then want to go mental and catch them all, that's like your end game.
Yeah,
basically, yeah. So it's up to you, I think.
Which is fine.
And when you say story, the story is basically like beating all the gym leaders and then going on to the Elite
But there's
Four.
Team Rocket, Matt. They want to steal. What do they want to steal? Just all the Pokemon.
Stuff in it, yeah.
It's just arseholes, isn't it? They're just arseholes.
Troublemakers.
Yeah,
they're just looting.
That little mouthy little cat. What a twat he was. Just, all right.
But I haven't played it as much this week because I've been playing other games. But I played a bit on the weekend, and I'm definitely going to keep playing it. But I barely played it this week, sadly. Annoyingly, really.
How did Elodie find it?
She really enjoyed it, actually. I mean, it took a bit of like getting used to because she wasn't really because when you do 2-player, you basically shake one of the other Joy-Con, and then the female character drops in, and Elodie wanted to do other things, and she wasn't like going to the people. She asked me what the posters were saying, even though it's just gibberish on the posters, and she wanted to buy everything from the shop, but clearly there's only like 2 points of interaction in the entire shop, and asking me why she can buy some sweets or food and stuff. But no, she enjoyed it. She enjoyed doing swinging the Joy-Con to catch Pokemon. She spent about 15 or 20 minutes just stroking Pikachu's head, which you can do in one of the menus, and I turn around and like my 60 plus berries had all gone because you can basically feed it berries, and it makes like sounds that says that he's having a lovely old time. Yeah. So yeah, she was destroying my resources, but no, she's having a great time. And then I turn around and suddenly she was like playing it handheld. And it's the first time we've ever properly played games together, so it's an amazing moment for me.
That's cool.
And hopefully, we get to do plenty more. She says Pikachu a lot, which is cute as hell. And so I'm enjoying it actually just because I get to play with her. So hopefully, plenty more of that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to end up with it at some point because fucking Zach Scott is playing it. And honestly, did no one know who Zach Scott is?
No, he's
you.
Streamer. I mean, he's all right actually. I think he's all right. He just plays Nintendo games and just laughs and mucks about. But Harry's obsessed with his videos, obsessed. And it's one of those things where you're like, wow, who is watching this? This has 20 million views. What am I doing with my life? There's part of me going, maybe next year I just get a Elgato, whatever it is, and then just play Nintendo games and talk over the top and become a millionaire, right? But I can't do that now. There's hours of audio of me screaming expletives at you lot. For me to suddenly go, hey kids, today we're going to it's just not going to work.
Don't Google my name.
It's not coming to work. So Zach Scott is currently playing Pokemon.
You can basically do what Ninja did. He was like really toxic and did all sorts of stuff, and then suddenly when like he and Fortnite got big, he's like totally changed his how he plays and how he streams. Just do that.
Could be the biggest streamer on the planet.
Just totally change everything people like about you to appease people because you suddenly get millions of watchers.
That doesn't. Zach Scott seems like a good guy. I'm not gonna slate him. Like, I mean, it's hard to deal with at 6 a.m, but if that's what Harry's into, that's what Harry's into, and that's why he's more excited by Mario Party than he is Smash Brothers, because
That's the other thing I played this weekend. I played a bit of Mario Party.
I'm so bang up for
I
that,
saw
it's
this.
Yeah, the pictures on Twitter were amazing.
unreal. Yeah, that was really funny.
It's true though. It happens every time we play that game. It's just
Really?
like, and
I
it's
thought you
not
said you
so
could play it
much.
in co-op.
Well, yeah, we play. It's like 4-player. We're playing it together as a family, and it always ends up badly.
Chen versus his fate.
No, because it's it's a ball game, isn't it? So you're all like against each other, and it always ends out like we're trying to be nice to the kids, but then they start like doing stuff to each other. Like poisoning.
I thought it was teams of
poison
two.
mushroom and stuff. No. It's it's the it's all against all. It's like kind of how it
Yeah,
works.
but I thought you said you could do two.
Yeah, you said
versus
two.
two.
You
Yeah,
said
you can, but we don't do that.
You choose not
Just
to.
Don't do that. We turn
Yeah.
it into.
How are they supposed to
We don't
learn
do it
about
in
life?
teams. No, because even if
Every
we
man
do it
for
in
himself.
teams, even if we do it in teams, it'll be a disaster anyway. Because there's the whole thing of like who's going to go with mummy, because no one wants to play with me. It's just like and then there'll be tears about that as well. It just causes
cut to
fights.
James kneeling on one knee, talking to Asher, going, "I'm sorry, son. You landed on Mayfair, and I've got a hotel on there. So hand over all of your money."
You've got to learn, haven't they? It's,
Oh, okay. Is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
No, go on then, Matt. You take over.
So I play Pokemon, but mostly I smashed the living fuck out of Red Dead Redemption 2 and
This
I've
is
now
the
finished the
weirdest
game.
story of the year.
It is.
Finished the game 2 weeks ago. I was on chapter 2 and I played about 15 hours, and I was like, "Oh god, this game, such a slog." I obviously could appreciate the quality. I never said it was shit. I just said I can't be bothered with it. Anyway,
So
something
weird.
something's
so good.
broken me clearly, and then I basically smashed 30 hours in 2 weeks, and I made it my my mission to get it done. Something clearly happened. But anyway, I just pushed through the barrier, and I absolutely smashed 31 hours or so in 2 weeks, and it's done. The whole thing's done.
Let's just do
This I
quick.
found weird because it's just like I know everyone says you shouldn't play the game this way, and it's like it's just
They
I don't
did,
know.
but I really enjoyed it.
Right, okay, so let's just do a quick catch up. So, James, you haven't played it this week, so you're still currently on chapter 2, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I think I'm right at the end of chapter 5.
Same.
Sean, you're about the same sort of area.
Yeah.
I will say that the bit that I've just done is probably the worst bit in the game so far. I'm maybe a little bit worried, but now it's instantly making me excited again. Like I literally can't. I'm definitely going to put.
Yeah, it definitely only goes up from where you are now. Yeah.
So just a quick one, Matt. Like obviously no spoilers, but what are your overall impressions then?
Yeah, I mean overall, I'm immensely happy that I pushed through. And got through. So my initial issues were like, I feel like I need like 2 hours to really get into it. And I think maybe then I was like trying to do some like free roam and stuff. But then because I just said I'm just going to mainline the missions, I found it really immensely satisfying. I'm really happy I played it. I mean, all the issues I had before, controls are whack, etc. It's got loads of what I think are truly next gen stuff in terms of the environment, the environmental storytelling, the writing, the characters. There are some amazing moments in this game, and many amazing moments actually. But then it's got like stuff from what feels like last gen in terms of mission structure and how it basically doesn't let you veer off mission structure and how it doesn't let you veer off the absolute chosen path and Rockstar set to you. Because if you move off even a millimeter, you're like, sorry, you can't grab that because that's not exactly what we wanted you to do. Anyway, apart from them things, story-wise, I thought it was amazing.
That side of things is not great, but then I will say that it again, what we were talking about very early on about fucking with player expectation, that seems to happen even more. There's a mission in again, I'm not going to go into detail, so just trust me here. There's a mission in chapter 4, just before chapter 5 starts, where it does it again. Like, you're planning one thing, and then boom, something happens, and the mission goes in a completely different direction. And because it keeps doing that, it keeps you on the edge of your seat every time you start a mission. Like, I've loved that side of it. So, in terms of mission structure like that, yeah, I think it's hugely It's a massive step forward. You know, you never know what you're getting into until you're in the middle of the mission, and even when you're in the middle of a mission, anything can happen. And that's
I don't. I mean, I agree with you on some aspects. I think it has the potential, when it does it numerous times, to surprise you, suddenly to flip things. I'm like, okay, that's great, but 90% of the time, you know exactly what you're going to do and how it's going to work.
I mean, not to where
I think so.
Now. No
yeah,
way.
I think so.
There's bits where they're having full-blown conversations about a mission that you never go on. Like, it's crazy. Like,
yeah, but then you get to the mission, you know what... and I'm not going to...
say that, but yeah, like when you get a certain way in, like every time... It's a bit like Trailer Park Boys, Farley, when they're always like, this is it, this is the big job that's going to set us up for life. And it... like, now that I think about it, like, it is literally Trailer Park Boys.
Isn't that just Only Fools and Horses? I mean, are they just... Is Trailer Park Boys Only Fools and Horses?
No, not at all. Trailer Park Boys is good.
Whoa!
Shots fired.
Are you seriously going to tell me that Only Fools and Horses is not good?
I must say it's all right.
Oh, mate,
it's a classic.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Oh.
See, I don't disagree, Farley, but I would also know better than to have this conversation with Dave in the room.
With David, the Cockney Turner. No, I mean, goddamn, I found, all right, okay, a lot of it is you go somewhere and you get into a gunfight, right? That is a lot of it, but it's had enough surprises in it for me to keep me well interested. And of course, right, I mean, it's no surprise to say that it obviously gets you very interested in characters, and then, you know, pulls the rug between, like, from under your feet, you know.
Yeah. In the most, like, unceremonious ways as well.
Oh my god! I mean, like, it's very inspired by The Walking Dead in that regard. You know how it's.
There's other shows that's also are same influenced by, but even if I mention things, people know what's going to happen. But yeah, there's other shows. I'm like, oh, this is such a moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's what
it does. Great, but really surprising. Really good. I mean, character-wise, Sadie Adler is one of my favorite characters, maybe in years and years and years. She is absolutely class.
She's the one that goes shopping when you're trying to pull a job, right?
She's the one you see really early.
Yeah, you just go
save her really early on.
Yeah,
she buys the yellow shirt. She's in the yellow shirt.
Yeah. You go shopping with her, and then you just get attacked, don't you? And then she just goes,
but no, if you remember, you're supposed to go shopping for a certain item for the camp, and she just goes out and buys like all these clothes and stuff.
She is just a fucking amazing character. Like punching in the air, like good. Like she should be the new Tomb Raider. I just think she's an amazing character. The best, one of the best female characters I've seen in games in years. I love her story, and she was a massive part of why I love the story. Finishing it, going.
Did you notice her before that mission though?
I mean, I knew that obviously. Yeah, I knew you rescue her early on, but I don't recall.
She's the one you rescue.
Yeah, she's the one you rescue. That's what you just said. Yeah, she's the one you rescue, and then she sort of blends into camp, and then other things happen. But
do you know the only bad point about her then is that she goes from really hating you and hating being there to suddenly being a big part of the crew. And I mean, I guess it's understandable because you're out of the campsite quite a lot, so you're missing a lot of her story while she's there.
Well, no, but she's going on her own journey. I mean, she gets rescued in a mission, and she has terrible things have happened to her, and she things have basically it's understandable why she would be angry and this, that, and the other. But her story is just fucking brilliant.
It's great. I've really been enjoying her character so far.
But I know, and I mean, Tamor came on this show and said, no, whatever you do, just do not mainline the story. But I did, something broke, and I was happy to do it. And like it, I obviously like smashed every single night, and I really, really enjoyed it. I'd already done like 10 to 15 hours of open world stuff. I'd done, a little bit of fishing, a little tiny bit of hunting, but I wanted to see the story out, and I've heard obviously loads of people raving about the story, and I wanted to be there for the end of the year conversation, and I'm really happy I did. In the end, I think my clock is like 50, maybe I think it's 50 hours, yeah. So even though I mainlined it from chapter 2, it's still 50 hours.
I don't blame you at all. Like I'm now at a point with it where it's not that I'm not enjoying it, I'm just itching to play other things.
I see. I'm
And it's-
not. I
No? Okay.
I can. It's this and Rocket League. I can just play for forever. And you know,
Yeah.
as I said, this week I found out that there's a big underground poker tournament that people still seem like when you go on Reddit and see people talking about it, they're getting hints on how to get in. But I mean, I need to experience that.
Are you seriously googling it? Are you reading threads on Reddit? That's gonna be mad spoilers, isn't it?
No, all I did was
That's risky.
I googled high roller poker. That was it, because I got a taste for it on a certain mission where there's like a mission where you play poker.
That's such a good mission as well.
It is a great mission, yeah, but that poker bit is bullshit. Like,
The poker bit is bullshit. But
well, you see, to me that worked in my favor because I hadn't played poker in the game.
Right. Okay.
Yet.
Yeah. Yes, you had. You played that earlier one with the where you get a character.
Yeah, I know, but you can quit that instantly.
Yeah, that's
can
what
you?
I did. Yeah, I totally
I played that for like 25 minutes.
I played it to the end. I wiped them all out. It was great. But no, what I'm saying is that in that bit it's like a linear mission. Suddenly,
it's totally fudged,
like,
isn't it?
It's totally full. So I was kind of like, oh my god, I'm going to sit and play a proper full round of poker, and there's going to be consequences. This is going to be beautiful. And then it was just like it wasn't that. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. But the fact that I know that there's like some sort of illegal poker ring going on means that I need to be in it. I need to be fucking in it. I've got so many theories about the ending as well. It's unbelievable. I can't wait to.
Yeah, same. Well, I'm not obviously not going to say anything. I mentioned to you guys the other day I had something spoiled for me, and it was through looking something up about Red Dead Redemption 1, and it was like, oh yeah. And also this guy appears in Red Dead 2, and in this situation that you didn't know about. Oh fucking yeah, totally.
Yeah, there are lots of. Tons of great moments towards the end. Like you do not want to spoil, but
okay, thanks.
Yeah,
I don't even want to think about it. Yeah, I'm bang up for it. I mean, I'm itching to get back to it just to do the bit that I was sort of just starting before we started recording. It's that game has got its hooks in me, like no other game has done for a while, actually.
I mean, I should add, I'm saying I'm sort of ready to be done with it. I'm really fucking excited about Red Dead Online, which by the time you hear this should technically be up.
So the beta starts when?
So it starts on Tuesday if you bought the Ultimate Edition,
right?
And then if you it says like if you played it
if you played it in launch week, it's Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday for everyone else.
I'm sure I'm sure it'll be totally stable and there won't be any problem.
Yeah, I'm just not going to touch it because I mean I'm too busy with a single player. I'll get to the multiplayer eventually, but I don't want to start doing a multiplayer when I can't do that.
You see, because I was only like halfway through the GTA 5 campaign when GTA Online came out, and I never went back. Once GTA Online was working.
You never completed GTA 5?
No, never completed the story. Yeah,
I was a bit concerned about that with this, but I mean, I have absolutely loved playing the game over the last 2 weeks since once I got over the hump. But I also there's other games I want to play, and I didn't just want to be on this the whole time. But I obviously had that small bit of open world stuff, ran through the missions, but now I'm going back to do some open world stuff, so it's nice. But it sort of feels like because I played so much in such a short space of time, it sort of feels like when you binge a box set or something on Netflix, it really has felt like I'm just going to do. It feels like I've done loads of episodes of a cowboy show, and
there's definitely a fucking mood, isn't there, to it?
Oh yeah, it really is. Yeah,
you feel a certain way by the time you've had a long session.
And that's one of the reasons why I haven't gone back to it yet, because I also just feel like I don't feel in the mood for it at the moment. Which is why I don't really want to play it, because I don't want it.
Honestly, there'll be you'll turn it on, and within 10 minutes you'll be like, "Why have I not been playing this?" Like honestly, I genuinely think it will. And I think the other thing that it does very well is it gives you so much to do, but you don't have to do any of it. Like you don't have to go from mission to mission. You don't have to go hunting. You don't have to go robbing coaches up. But it's all there if you want to do it. And as I said before, the mentality of some people, and I totally understand this, they're not in the wrong, will look at that and say, well, what's the point in doing it then? If there's no real benefit from doing any of this, why would I do it? But for me, it just means that I can spend my time playing poker, washing my hair, going drinking in pubs and starting bar brawls and stuff like that. and then someone else is having a completely different experience where they're getting way into hunting all the legendary animals and all that stuff. I've not hunted apart from that initial mission. I've done no hunting because I just doesn't interest me. So I'm just skipping along and having my own time with it. You know what I mean? It's and it's never.
You can play as a real simulator, and with the hunting, like obviously you can hunt and you get like pelts and skins, and you can use them to upgrade your stuff. I never did. I did a one hunting mission as you said, Dave. But did anything else? So you don't even need to like upgrade like your bags or the other things. You know, I didn't. I played some poker tools at the beginning. Didn't need to do that anymore. I had like one or two baths in the entire game, so you don't have to do it. I think you have to have like baths or washes if you want to do hunting, because I think the stench of you like sends the animals away. So there's other things that are connected to other like things you can do. But yeah, for me, I didn't do any upgrades. I just played the missions, and I'm so glad I pushed through. I mean, I even back when I was not a fan of it, I said I'm going to push through. I have to push through, and I didn't. I dropped off the first one. But I'm so immensely glad that I pushed this because the story is just so good. Like I really want to do like a spoiler cast, but I know we're not going to get it finished in time. But
I've dug the first one out again. It's sitting there waiting.
Well, that's the thing. So I finished this, and I already had it installed, but I've already restarted playing Red Dead Redemption 1.
Are you playing from the beginning?
Yeah, but so I didn't actually have. It must have not saved my cloud save. I think I must have done like 5 to 10 hours maybe, or I don't know. I did a bit of the first game and then just dropped off completely. But yeah, I already had it installed because it was like X enhanced like ages ago, so I just had it installed. But yeah, finished the game, and then last night and a little bit tonight.
I finished Red Dead 1 last night. How are you finding it? What are the major differences?
Well, that's the thing. Like, so obviously, we mentioned on this show, the mission structure. I find it really simplistic in Red Dead Redemption 2. So I was like, well, I bet there's not even a massive jump, and it is obviously old, but because it literally is old, but. It's still got that same vibe. Obviously, it's not as detailed. In fact, actually, like the horse controls feel better. But
really?
Whatever. Yeah, because it's just way more instant. There's way less sort of like granularity and like different like, systems within even just the horses. In Red Dead Redemption versus the second one. But yeah, because I that was always a massive regret that I just fell off it so early on. I can't even tell you what mission I got to originally, but yeah, I'm definitely in like the Red Dead mood, and obviously, Red Dead 2 is a prequel, so it almost feels like right to now play this. I'm like, I just want to go now I've got that character, and like I know that character from, and it's also really interesting to see what they did in Red Dead Redemption 2 to ape what happened in Red Dead Redemption. So I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm in this town, this happens, and yeah, I don't know if I'm going to finish it. I probably won't, but I'm going to keep playing it and seeing how Red Dead Redemption sort of grabs me. But yeah, again, just like if you like Hammer box set on Netflix, I'm in that mood for like cowboy stuff, and yeah, I love.
I'll tell you this, Matt. Like,
I'm happy to play the first one again.
What the second game does way better than the first is like make you care about the characters more. Like, you care about the characters so much more in Red Dead Redemption 2. And knowing that they're in number 1, like, I'd be really interested to go back and sort of have those moments where I'm like, oh shit, yeah, they're mentioning such and such, and
yeah, because I like so well my memory of Red Dead 1 is just like, oh, this is Bill, he's the next guy you've got to kill, he's in like a little fortress, then shoot him.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And obviously he's in the second one.
From the first one. Like, I didn't remember him.
I last night, and they mentioned Dutch. I was like, oh, Dutch, it's cool having those mentions and stuff. But I mean, I already know what happens at the end of Red Dead 1 because it was bought a long time ago. So that's not going to be like a big surprise. I know what goes on. But yeah, I'm going to keep playing it because overall, I love Red Dead Redemption 2, even with all its faults. It's the story. It's just immense. So yeah, glad I pushed through.
I tell you what, though, it's going to be very, very interesting this year, the Game of the Year show. I know we bang on about it, but it is now getting to the business end.
Have you guys listed your games yet? Have you got off a doc?
We've got this show, we've got next week's show, and then we've got the draft. Do you know what I mean? It's that soon.
Wow.
hang on. So when's the draft? What date?
Right, okay. So
what are we on, 26th?
We're recording on the 26th. Then we're recording on the 3rd. The draft's on the 10th.
Yeah, and then it shows on the 17th.
Fucking New Earth Defence Force is out on the 11th, mate.
That's a shame.
Well, you better preempt it.
And Red Dead Redemption 2, we were going into this year thinking that this is going to be... this is the way I look about it. Last year was a really good one because there was 2 massive hitters overshadowing everything. This year, I think the overall quality of the 12 what is it? How many games? The 16 games that we pick.
Yeah.
The quality of those 16 overall are going to be there's not going to be any far point in this. You know what I mean? Like we've all got some very big games to drop into this list. So and I went into the year thinking Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to wipe it. Everything.
Yeah, me too.
But now I'm not 100% sure. I think
I'm actually quite happy about that. Like, I mean, obviously, you know, we all want every game to be amazing, but yeah, I was the same as you. I was like, well, it sort of does it really matter? Because Red Dead's gonna come out and smash everything, and that'll be like easy number one. Like, I don't know, it's a bit boring, but it's got its issues for sure. But there's been so many amazing games. I think this year, I think it's been really great year for games in terms of overall quality.
It hasn't. I mean, they've not been consistent, have they? There was a huge gulf in the middle of the year that just felt like it went on forever.
Yeah. I think this year has been like, there's been a ton of 8s and 9s, and maybe a couple of 10s. So obviously last year we had like Mario and Zelda and whatnot. But have you guys written your list or started writing down?
Yeah, I know I've got mine.
I've had like a list of I've had like a list of 10 for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm like. And obviously, I was when playing Red Dead, I've been like moving it up and moving on things down. I'm like, I can't move that down, but I could move that up. And yeah, every day of like, maybe I'll move that.
I've got 7 on mine. So
okay,
yeah.
But I'm pretty sure. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be an interesting one. One thing's for sure that I'm not going to go out to try and win it. Also, I've also noticed tactics going on early, right? Because James. What you're doing for me this weekend is incredible. James is popping over on Friday and he's going to drop off his PSVR for me.
Oh, is that happening this Friday, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot wait.
It may be Sunday, but yeah, we'll...
Okay, Sunday's fine.
Okay, well, either way, I'm so happy that that's happening.
Yeah, no, I am. And I think I need to play Astro Bot and I need to play Tetris Effect the way it's meant to be played, right?
And you play Moss as well.
Right, okay.
Well, he's not going to play that because I haven't got it. But, yeah.
Oh, well, I'll give him one.
James has been well eager about this. You know what I mean? He's been really nice, and I appreciate it, but he's been well eager. And it's made me think, James is going to make a move for a certain game in this list, right? And the reason why he's lending me his PSVR is so that he's got more support. And don't say that hasn't crossed your mind, James.
Of course it's crossed my mind. Why else do you think I'm doing this? It's... You've got to have experienced it, otherwise
it's a tactical move because he knows when Astrobot is in the first round and I'm going, well, I can't vote for it, I haven't played it. Like, he doesn't want that to happen. He doesn't want it to happen. So, I'm happy with the situation. You're happy with the situation. I think we're all happy with the situation here, James. Unless I think it's shit, and then you're in big trouble.
Yeah, Dave, I'll give him a detail so you can play Moss, because that's also good.
Okay, cool. We'll get to that. Anything else for us, Matt?
I also started playing Warframe. Sean's favourite game.
Why?
Now we're onto a real GOTY contender.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go, boys. Because it was free to download, and I think actually at the end of the last episode, I think it would just come out then, didn't it? And but then it got taken off because then. Yeah, but anyway, so I downloaded that, and I thought I'll give that a go. And first of all, right, they could put Destiny 2 in this machine, right? That was my.
Technically, it's fucking impressive, isn't it?
That's my overwhelming feeling initially. I'm like, hang on, like this looks good, and it's got loads of systems and stuff. Like they could put like Bungie putting Destiny 2 on the Switch. I feel like could definitely happen. Mm-hmm. You're sure it'd be like downgraded, from a console, the main, Xbox and PS4 console versions. But Warframe looks good, and there's tons of things happening. Imagine Destiny 2 on the Switch; it'll be amazing. Anyway, apart from that, Warframe is overwhelming as fuck. I'll say initially. I've only played like 3 or 4 missions. The chief reason I'm playing those missions at the moment actually is because I fucking misspelt my name when I was like playing, I was creating my character. I misspelled my name, and you can't change your name unless you pay like 200 platinum, which is like a currency in game. Yeah, they can't delete. They might be able to delete your account. But basically, it's like one account per system, one name. There wasn't even like a confirm your name. It's like you entered your name. I accidentally pressed, B, which I wanted to be escape, but obviously it's fucking switched, so that was enter. And then the name was sorted, and there wasn't like.
So wait, your name is what? Matt Murr.
Yes, Matt Murr. Yeah.
I was going to say.
You know what I'm like with this stuff. I'm like, that's the most annoying thing
I hope
ever.
you accidentally spelled Matt with 2 T's, and that was the.
I put Matt Murr, and then I must have did a typos or deleting something, and then I pressed B. But there wasn't a confirmation like, is this name you want to choose? You can't change it again. It's just literally bang, that's done now. That's it. And yes, I need to earn like another 100 platinum. I don't know how I'll do that, but now so now I'm playing the game to earn another 100 platinum to change my name to then potentially quit after that. But anyway,
I'm quite about it being difficult or whatever, can you? I mean, they probably were just thinking people know how to write their name.
Yeah, I know, but like at least confirm your name.
Have you QA tested the name? What?
They should have put confirmation. They should put confirmation panel there. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Yeah, anyway, Matt Murr until I only have 100 platinum.
As a Christmas name.
Yeah.
No, people do the Christmas names.
Yeah, Matt Murr. Yeah, I spelled that wrong as well.
Sorted.
Anyway, so Warframe, it's a third person. I mean, you guys all know what Warframe is. Third person game, and
I sure do.
Yeah, you do. You fucking love this game, Sean. You are the Warframe, or the Warframe you have on you? Sean,
it's not really clear, because you can change Warframe. So you are a Tenno, and
you're Tenno. Are you a Tenno, or is your name Tenno?
You're a Tenno, right? Okay. Do you want to know?
You're not the Tenno.
Do you want the lore?
Please.
So
I'm the number one Warframe fan.
Do you remember a shit game called Dark Sector on the PS3
yes.
Xbox 360?
Oh, is it in that? Is that in that universe?
A sequel to that.
Oh, wow, weird.
So, so Dark Sector, for those who don't know, was like a single-player, third-person adventure or action game where you played as a guy called Hayden Tenno, who gets infected with this super bioweapon that basically by the end of the game turns him into this fucking armored cyber ninja. And then Warframe is thousands of years in the future, where there's fucking loads of these cutting about, and they're all referred to as Tenno. So there you go. It is literally a sequel. So you're a Tenno, I think, and you change Warframes, which are your the sort of shell that you're in that governs your appearance and your abilities.
Anyway, so I did not know it was in a Dark Sector universe, but that's interesting. Yeah, so
is that a killer feature for you, Matt?
Well, yeah, I love the Dark Sector game.
I do sort of love that because it's the same devs as well. I do sort of love that they were no, we need no one liked the first game, but we're fucking sticking with it.
So let's make a massive.
It's a sequel. Just don't mention it.
Yeah, so the only missions I've done it's very Destiny-like, and you're just whizzing through this map. There's loads of enemies. You shooting, numbers come off their energy bars, etc. You have this big melee weapon, or you have in my case I've chosen a gun as one of my other weapons. There's tons of different special moves. It feels very Destiny. I mean, I know Warframe fans listening now will be kicking off because it's so not Destiny, but in the early missions at least it is. And there are a billion different systems. I've watched a couple of Warframe for beginners guides, and even them are pretty overwhelming.
Yeah.
But mostly I'm they could put Destiny on this thing. I will say the controls are pretty shit. I mean, it's got the biggest dead zone I've played in the game in years. And you can't. It's not like Red Dead Redemption 2 where you can maximize or reduce that dead zone. That's just how it feels. I mean, I haven't played it docked with the Pro Controller, maybe, and hopefully it's better. But
I was going to say the Switch sticks don't do it any favors. But
no.
I've never liked the controls, even on the PS4 or whatever. So
really,
see what you think with the Pro Controller, but.
Even on the PS4, you feel it doesn't feel that good either.
I've never liked the feel of it. It's weird.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. See what you think.
But I mean, and I thought, okay, so this is on many different platforms. I'll just be like what I did with Fortnite, and I'll play it on all platforms. But no, it's unfortunately it's a game where it's like one account per platform.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought, okay, I'm gonna play a bit on a Switch on the way to and from work, or this and that to try and learn it, and then I'll maybe play in like 4K on Xbox or PlayStation. But no, I mean, actually, I think I haven't like looked into it a bit. They said they wanted to do that originally because Sony said, where they were doing cross-platform, they never bothered, and now what the most recent reports are, they say it's a lot to deal with, and they haven't done it, and it's hard to implement and stuff. But
so you can, if you've been playing on PC, you can port your account over to the, or rather, it technically duplicates it. So, yeah,
but I heard you basically move your account, but you can't move it back because it's not.
Yeah, so basically, you transfer everything over once, but then I think you still have all the stuff on your PC account, but then from then on they are separate, and you can't transfer anything. Way,
cool.
And that's that. Yeah. Not perfect, but
I don't know how much I'll play. I mean, I will probably almost certainly play until I can change my name. But have you played any on Switch, Sean? In fact, I think I have seen you playing, haven't you?
A very tiny bit. I just sort of did the tutorial, and it hasn't got rid of any of the things I didn't like about it. But I can play it in handhelds, and that's kind of massive. So I don't know. I'm gonna have another go probably, but I can't see myself putting in the amount of time that game wants, because people who really love it are just like, I don't need any other games. Like, this is it.
Yeah, I can see that already.
Yeah, there is just so much to do. It's just, for me, it just felt like a lot of box ticking rather than actually going on adventures and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But the lack of cross-platform, cross-platform unlocking, that does really kill it dead. I know only really Fortnite has been the big one, but suddenly it feels like, well, that feels so good, I want it on every game. And now games that don't do it that way, even though that's not the common way to do it, it just feels like, I'm not sure I can be bothered. But if I could play this on Switch and then also play on the TV, play on Xbox and PlayStation, I would be playing this way more, almost certainly. But I mean, playing handheld, which is where I play 90% of the time if I do play on my Switch, there's a lot of information on the screen for such a tiny little screen. But yeah, I'll keep playing for a little bit. It's cool to have a play game on Switch, and I don't need my Nintendo Online to play it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
Do you want your Christmas present now or next week?
Why?
I got a Christmas present for you.
Okay.
Do you want it now?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay. I'm recording on my internal mic.
You are joking. What?
Are
you serious?
On my internal mic, yeah, totally serious.
Oh, for David,
that's incredible.
There you go. There's your Christmas. But go for it. Say what you want. I'm here. I can take it.
Just soak it in, mate. You don't
I
have
know.
to say
I'm just amazed. I mean, Dave, didn't you do a test recording?
I'll be honest with you. I mean, with 3 shows left, clearly my brain's already.
Yeah, you're already on the beach, Dave.
I'm already on the beach.
This is shocking.
I can't believe I've done that. That's the first time I think I've ever done that.
After thousands of hours of recording podcasts, all this editing is still making mistakes like this.
I mean,
shocking.
The backup recording's working. I can clean that up for you, Matt. It'll probably sound better because obviously I'm further away from my internal mic than what's it would have been.
This always happens on the weeks I'm editing. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but this could be a really easy edit if I just clean the backup recording, and then I'll hold my hands up. I am so sorry. I can't believe I've done that. I don't believe I've done it. It was like last week when you were going, I hope you do that some week, Dave. I'm sorry, guys. That is totally my bad. I don't know how I've done that.
Don't worry, David. It's easily done. It's
that is true. You can't really have a pop. But yeah, at the same time, I apologise.
That is annoying.
But I'm coming through okay on the Discord, am I?
Yeah,
you
Discord
clear as anything on Discord, yeah.
Do you know what it was? My screen was black while you were talking, so I clicked on the trackpad to make sure it was still recording, and then it it picked like it made a clicky sound on that. I was like, fucking hell, I didn't click it that hard. Oh no!
Oh no. Anyway, that's Warframe.
Yeah,
That's
all right.
Yeah. Sean, what have you been playing?
Same old shit, mate. It's been... I've just been...
Is it though?
I mean, well, it's all
Here we go.
Same games, but holy shit, I've got a PlayStation 4 Pro, boys.
Oh,
You are now a professional gamer.
Let me tell you, it's all right. It's a bit better, isn't it?
It does look better, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like I was explaining it to Nu, and because obviously she was like, "Yeah, it looks good." I said, "It's just like looking at it. I feel like I'm less aware that I'm seeing everything through a TV." Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like because it's less of like even though you don't see the pixels, your brain fucking knows, and it just takes some of that barrier away, I guess. But then I've not played anything that's like this is a fucking PS4 Pro game. Like I might get like
play Rocket League, Sean.
I could play Rocket League.
It's not proper 4K though, is it? That's the problem.
It's not.
It's all interlacy bollocks.
Yeah. I mean, I could get Horizon on again. I don't know if I want to play that.
Oh no, yeah, you should definitely look at that in 4K. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I've
but
got
also Destiny. You've obviously seen Destiny, right?
Yeah, Destiny 2 looks great.
Yeah, playing the first mission with all the fire. My God, that looks so good.
Yeah, because that was on one of the daily story missions last week. So that was really good.
What about Red Dead?
I mean, Red Dead always looked amazing. So it's not really there are some effects I'm noticing that are really nice. Like when it's raining, like as well as just the rain coming down, it's like the edges of like buildings and sort of canopies and stuff. You can see the drips coming down, stuff like that. It's like I don't think that was there before. Maybe it was. I mean,
you do get that feeling though. I definitely got that when I got my Pro, where it was kind of like, oh yeah, it's just kind of the same. You know what I mean? There is a bit of that,
and it's like, and I think I've obviously leaving it this late. I've killed it for myself a bit because I'm just like, oh, PS5's out in 2 years.
But
it's not even. It's not even like, yeah, I've got this. I'm fucking future proof for long enough to justify the investment. It's just like, yeah, it's a bit better, and I guess it'll do.
Sean, you're future proof for 18 months.
Yeah,
drink it in.
No, I don't regret it. It's not noisy. I was worried I was going to get one of the noisy ones because I knew I wasn't getting because the new one they've brought out that comes with the Red Dead pack, that's the new one that is apparently silent. But there was a second revision, so the launch one's horrible, and then there was a second one. I was like, hopefully I'll at least get one of those, and I did. And yes, fine. It's not too noisy at all. So that's
mine's been fine. It's not. I wouldn't say it's very loud. It's,
it's all right. Been playing. Obviously, I've been playing more Red Dead. Talked about that. I'm cracking on with Destiny 2. Still really enjoying that. Getting raid ready has not taken anywhere near as long as I thought it might, and has been really enjoyable. I mean, basically just everything I said last week. Like, there's so much stuff to do that gets you decent gear now that it just in no way feels like a grind because you can just like flick between sort of different, like, oh, I'll do a story mission, or I'll do a strike, or I'll do a bit of Crucible or Gambit, or whatever. There's like weird. I did my first Ascendant challenge in the Dreaming City, which is where you have to like drink a potion that allows you to see portals through to the Ascendant realm, which is basically like hell. It's horrible. And then
my Friday night, am I right, boys?
And then you do this challenge where you have to like sprint through getting shot to fuck and avoiding traps, and then do a weird jumping puzzle and then fight a boss. And it was hard, but the rewards are ridiculous. I'm basically. So I think the recommended power level for the raid is 550. I'm now like 548. And that's after 3 weeks ago saying, oh yeah, I might start playing again and see if I can get ready for the raid. So that's pretty good. Still really enjoying that. And Tetris. Still playing Tetris.
I finished the journey mode of that the other day, and it's incredible. The last song, I've had it stuck in my head since I did it, and I keep going back and doing it because it's just so good.
Yeah, and there is an hour-long version of the song on YouTube, which I hammered the next day. Yeah, that last song is so good.
I've had a really nice time. A friend of mine's doing a friend of mine who I wasn't expecting to be particularly into this. He was like, "I'm really enjoying just doing the sprint mode and just seeing how quickly. Is it 40 lines? I think you have to.
About Sam.
Yeah,
yeah, because he's been texting me about the sprint mode as well.
Yeah.
Is that the thing you were streaming last night, Dave?
Yes.
Where it's like the race to get. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you got to do 40 lines as quick as you can. What's your best time, Sean?
2 minutes 11.
Oh right, yeah, okay, you're ahead of me then, because I'm trying to get to under 2 minutes 30. Have you got any tips for that? Because I mean,
so my thing has mainly just been because obviously it shows you what's coming up next, and it's kind of like I was saying either last week or before. I've been trying to sort of develop the ability to like look at that as well as what's going on in the actual
which is
main
what I'm doing.
play space. But of course, they're all color coded in that mode, so. Yeah, so now it's like getting myself to I don't even have trying to train myself to not have to look up at it, because if I can just see the color of it, I can learn that, then I can plan ahead without actually diverting my eyes from what's going on in the main bit. So that's been my sort of main leap forward, I think. It's just trying to get my head around that. So yeah. I
mean, I the first time I did it, it was like 4 minutes 45 or so, and I was thinking, how the fuck is that even possible? Until Sam told me that you could just press up on the D-pad and it auto drops.
Yeah.
That was it.
What, you just found that out? I did that too much to the point where I would get confused, keep pressing up, and I'm like, oh, it gets too fast.
I had no idea.
Occasionally I'll hit it, and it turns out.
Yeah, in the heat of the moment, I was doing that loads. I was listening to something on, I can't remember what podcast, but they were saying about the fact that the first 7, are basically. It obviously includes all the shapes, and after that, once the 7th one's dropped, then it can be any shape, but no 2 shapes drop in a row. So then I think the pro players are starting to look at it almost like poker hands, where you're almost counting.
I put that up in the journey mode, but you can't do that. Sprint mode doesn't work like that.
Okay, doesn't it?
No, because I got 3 squares in a row at one point last time I was streaming. So yeah, it doesn't really work like that.
Yeah, that was interesting. People like counting. Okay, so if I had like that, so the chances of that's not going to happen unless it's and I thought that was an interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah, I picked up on that on journey mode, but yeah, as I say, sprint mode, I haven't tried it. I must admit, I'm getting into it more.
Cool.
The thing is though, it without the VR, it just feels like a Tetris game, which is, I mean, Tetris has always been good. I've always liked it. It's just, I'm not to that point where this is unbelievable, because it's just not for me. I'm sure when I get to play a VR this weekend, then
there's definitely a lot of the levels in journey mode I found quite underwhelming, and maybe they're brilliant in VR. I don't know,
but no, but it's sometimes for those, I felt like it was a bit of a rest for what you've gone through before. If you know what I mean, it's because sometimes it's quite overwhelming.
Yeah, but I'm finding it it's really nice. If I've had a full evening on Red Dead or Destiny or whatever, just a bit of Tetris to wind down at the end of the night has been really lovely. Love it. But that's pretty much it from me.
And that's it from me. My games have been covered. So, should we get on to emails?
Yeah, can do. All right, if you want, if there's something you don't know and you think we might, then put it in an email to why is that funny? We know all sorts of things. Email us at thecomputergameshow@gmail.com. David Fury, which I hope is his real name, says, loving the show. I've just got a new mobile phone for the first time in about 5 years, and I'm wondering if you can fill me in on what I've missed games-wise. Any suggestions on what I should be playing would be great. I've got some bad news, mate. It's not really... I don't know. 5 years? What's happened in 5 years in mobile games?
Monument Valley 2's been out.
If 5 years, you just missed the whole thing turning to shit.
When did Freeze come out? When did Freeze come out? Get that. That's a good game.
Yeah.
I'm currently running the total on how many games I've played, so come back to me in about an hour and I'll tell you once it's calculated. But go on. Any other recommendations? Reigns, that was meant to be pretty good.
Reigns is really good. I had to delete Alto's Odyssey the other day because I think I've probably put literally tens of hours into it, and it was that's enough. That's fine. I had to just get rid because I do pick up games on my phone and then I just never get around to playing the fucking things for some reason.
See, I keep thinking, maybe I should give stuff a go, but then I just think it's all the free to play stuff, and I'd rather just play on my Switch.
Yeah,
Well,
But it's not all that, James. That's such a shitty view. There are good stuff out there. Like everyone's talking about Florence, which I really want to play.
Maybe about what?
Yeah,
It's a game called Florence. Some people.
Yeah,
but see, games like that, I always just hope are going to come out on Switch at some point, so I can play it not on mobile. You know, it's
19,607 games of freeze now, so getting closer to that 20k.
Are we going to do a 20k stream this year?
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, hopefully, yeah. I mean, I should get that done within a week.
I mean, the last one was a success. I'm having a look. So I've just got. I mean, he hasn't said what phone he's got. If it's an Android, there is currently a sale on the Play Store because it's Black Friday. Like Samaros 3 is like 80p. Don't Starve Pocket Edition 90p. That's got to be worth a go, hasn't it? True Skate, that's good fun. Oh, Monument Valley 2's in the sale as well, and Monument Valley 1. The Room, Old Sins.
Oh, I was going to mention The Room.
Yeah, man.
The Room.
All the Room games are good, and Reigns is in there as well.
Lara Croft Go, I thought was absolutely fantastic.
Well, all the Go games, Hitman Go.
Yeah, that was my favourite. I played a little bit of the Deus Ex one, and I played a little bit of the Hitman one. But yeah, Lara Croft Go, I loved. I played like every level on the whatever. There's like some DLC or something for it. I think I played everything I could on that game.
Yeah. God, I forgot they did bloody Reigns Game of Thrones as well.
Yeah.
That's if you're a fan, that's probably good. Oh yeah, Lara Croft Go is currently 80% off. There you go.
I'll definitely recommend that.
Oh shit, Mini Metro's £1.9 at the moment. That's normally like £6, isn't it? Apparently that's wicked. So yeah, I mean, if you're on, I don't know if it's the same on iOS or on Android. If you go on the games bit and then just go on premium, and then suddenly you're avoiding all the free to play shit. Worth a go.
Cool.
Anything else?
No,
cool.
that's it.
Robert Castle said I had a good Black Friday and have ordered my first ever PlayStation console. One of the new quiet PS4 Pros, and I've got it with this initial batch of games: Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, Shadow of the Colossus, Wipeout, Doom, Nier Automata, and Red Dead Redemption 2. As I am now spoilt for choice, are there any recommendations on which game I should play first, or a general order?
Easy.
Go on.
Doom.
Yeah.
Play Doom.
Yeah, Doom.
Because you'll knock it out pretty quickly as well.
Knock it out pretty quickly. It's immensely fun. It's the sort of game that you want to blitz through quickly anyway. Yeah, Doom. Get that out of the way.
I mean, Wipeout, you'll sort of chip away at now and then.
No, you won't. You trade that in CX in no time. Let's be honest.
I mean, the others
actually. Oh, Dave, I'll have to give you my copy so you can play it in VR.
Because it is. Is that just going to make me feel sick?
Apparently,
no. It's incredible in VR.
I will say it's amazing. I haven't played it, unfortunately.
Okay.
I mean, the others are all. I mean, in terms of what you're going to get out, quite similar, aren't they? Like, I mean, probably play Horizon before God of War, because I gather God of War is better.
Yeah, God of War's way better.
Yes, one of the games of the year. It's done.
Yeah, so you're not going to put any, massive amount of time into Horizon afterwards.
Yeah, Horizon looks pretty. I mean, I still stand by the fact that it's a very good game.
Yeah,
it's just it's a light. It especially it feels like over the past since that game come out, open world games have taken such a huge leap forward.
Yeah,
that it will be kind of hard to go back to something like that. But it's still well worth playing.
Yeah.
There's a game not on the list. I know it's not like a classic, but The Last Guardian. I think it's worth playing.
Yeah. The Last Guardian. Sorry, what? I had Shadow of the Colossus in my head.
I mean, that's on the list as well. But
play that. Don't even bother with
God,
Last Guardian.
If this is his first ever PlayStation,
it is not rubbish.
It's dog poo. It's awful.
I don't think it's rubbish, but I think it's worth having a look at. I guess Journey. There's loads of things.
Shit, if he's not played Journey, or Flower as well.
Inside.
Yeah.
You might play it on Xbox.
Us.
God, yeah.
Last of Us.
Yeah.
God, yes.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
That's it. I mean, you've asked for the games that you've currently got. You've clearly got a load of games there, but we're just adding to your list there. So we
yeah.
Playing, boy.
The worst answer to a question you could have hoped for. Go on.
Yeah, we're just basically giving you a load of fucking.
Oh, there's another classic. Detroit Become Human.
Get it.
He also asks, I've not played Red Dead Redemption 1. What are your thoughts on playing Red Dead 2 and then Red Dead 1 so the story is chronological? Now, I feel like Red Dead... So, spoilers. That's not spoilers at all. So the plot of Red Dead 1 is he plays a guy who's going around killing his old gang members. Red Dead 2 is a prequel that is set during the time that the gang was active. and it's like, and basically, like, you're a gang, but you've sort of, I don't know, sort of Robin Hood style, but things are going bad in Red Dead 2, and it's, to me, it's that sort of creeping dread of knowing how things end really works in Red Dead 2.
Yeah, but I think you could play it the other way round. Like, I mean, as we've been saying, we're quite excited to go back to Red Dead 1.
Yeah.
Just because I think you could benefit from knowing the characters in the way that you do from Red Dead 2.
Yeah, you probably just get different things out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you've just got a brand new PlayStation. Just play Red Dead 2, and then if you want to, there's Red Dead 1 as well, which I think follows on nicely.
Mm-hmm. He also then goes on to ask, and we've had a few people actually, basically, what are our Christmas games? What are we playing over Christmas?
Well, there was that game that someone suggested to me. It was on the front cover of
it's called Gris.
Gris, yeah.
Gris. That
looks well excited about that.
Well up my street.
Yeah, it looks stunning, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I'm
and it's on Switch Day 1 as well, so
probably going to be that one.
Yeah.
What is it? What kind of game is it?
It looks like an adventure platformer type thing, doesn't it?
Yeah, have a look at a trailer when we're done. It looks absolutely
you've got to see the trailer.
It's one of those where it's like the trailer's stunning, but it's not really clear how it translates into an actual game.
Yep.
But I mean, looking and sounding the way it does, I might not be too bothered.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like it's dawned on me that, like, I mean, I don't know about you guys. My wife like works a lot over Christmas, so, and obviously in previous years that wasn't such a problem, whereas now I've got a kid, so I think I'm going to be with him like most of my Christmas holidays.
Yeah. That's what
I might not get much else done. So I'm trying not to think too much about, like, oh yeah, I'll fucking plow a load of time into God of War or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's going to have to be short games.
It's handheld stuff is what I always end up playing over the Christmas. Yeah, because of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely going to be playing a lot of Mario Party, so.
Yeah.
No
It's going to be Smash Brothers. That's what I'm Smash Brothers is going to be my
He's
Christmas.
not getting that until February, so I won't be playing that over Christmas.
Is that it? Should we move on?
Yeah.
Cool. David Trapmore says, would you agree that the craze for co-op games seems to have died off, with only a few high-profile co-op games released this year? And can you think of any games that play as good solo as in co-op?
I mean,
this is a shame because, you see, a lot of the games that I play online are co-op. Like the group that I play with, we only play this kind of game really. And we got into like PUBG for a while because you can still kind of have that kind of experience.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That, I mean, Blackout is our co-op game at the moment. Me and all my mates play Blackout. Yeah. And obviously that's competitive, so not really what you're referring to. I don't think that's what you're referring to.
But the like playing stuff that's like not competitive, just against like computer or whatever, there isn't so much as there were like recently. Although I mean we started playing Strange Brigade again over on Friday. It's really good. It's really, really good. And like we played that for like until about 2-3 in the morning, and it was we're having a great time playing it. It's really great. But there isn't so much. I mean, we were disappointed because like Gears 4, we were like, okay, we can play that. We all got it. Stupidly didn't look at it and realised that it was only 2-player co-op. Like you can't play 4-player, which is
not even a horde
irritating. Nope. Oh no, horde mode you can, but not in the like campaign. Oh. And so that's a shame. But yeah, it's not quite as.
It's almost
good
like
as
you should have got into Destiny, really, isn't it?
Yeah, with 3 players. Yeah. With a 3-player fire team, when it's 4 of us, it's.
I'd say you can play Gambit or Crucible. It's fine.
Yeah.
He then goes on to recommend a game called Full Metal Furies, which, to be fair, I'd heard the name, but I didn't know much about it. I didn't know it's by the guys who made Rogue Legacy. He says it's a mashup of beat 'em up RPG and puzzle elements. Works great solo and in 4-player co-op, and it's just come out on the Switch as well.
Never heard of it.
No, me neither. But it's probably all right. He then goes on to say, are there any games released right up your street that you think could have been on your Game of the Year list if you'd had a chance to play them?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
I don't, realistically, I'm not going to get a chance to play Dead Cells, and everyone tells me that would be on the list.
From what I played of that when we were at EGX, I was like, I probably got into this a bit.
Yeah, I mean, my brother's let me borrow his copy of God of War, which I've still not started, and again, realistically, probably not happening.
Oh shit, you've not played that?
Oh, that's a shame, Sean. That is. Well, at least try and play a bit so you get a general.
Will that be enough to comment on it, do you think?
Well, no, because it's all about the story, really. So,
but
not only that, the combat starts off good, gets way better.
Okay.
Like, it really takes off. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
that's definitely a game to showcase your PS4 Pro. My God.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean,
right.
Obra Dinn is one I really want to play, and I keep looking at it.
Yeah, I was hoping that was going to be just a little bit discounted in the Steam sale, and no, he fucking use everything. And
so
it's
just
still
come
full
out.
price. So, yeah. Well, yeah, sometimes they'll do like a token, like 5% off then. But no, he's not budged. But hey ho.
Ouch.
Yeah, right. Mitch Robinson says, love the show. Makes me laugh and feel uncomfortable at the same time. Good. That's what I'm going for. I was just wondering what your thoughts are on how long your gaming hobby may last. I'm 45 and my wife constantly questions why I still game, but I just can't see why I would stop. Currently loving God of War and Red Dead Redemption 2, but I still play Rocket League, Uncharted 4 co-op, Far Cry 5 and Worms every week with a regular co-op mate online. Hi, Jay. My competitive multiplayer days may be over, but I still love gaming as much as I always have done from when I first played 3D Monster Maze on my brother's ZX81 in the early 80s. Have any of you thought about the inevitable, or will you all be in the old folks' home still playing?
Well, it's not I never even thought about. It's just games thing I enjoy doing. Why would I think about stopping? I don't understand.
No, I think what it is, what's interesting is that we're of a generation where obviously not many of our parents played games because they didn't grow up with them, and same with grandparents and stuff like that. But now we're at a generation where we've grown up. They've been a big part of our lives for so long. So, I mean, I see no reason for stopping other than, health issues with my hands and shit. But
well, I was going to say that was I like playing Destiny 2. Everyone, it's always been a thing that I've preferred auto rifles and submachine guns, and everyone's like, "Oh, why is that?" Because I just hold the trigger and I don't have to keep pressing it over and over again because that fucks my fingers up now. Like I get really bad like RSI if I'm not careful playing Destiny. And that's only going to get worse.
Yeah. So it's not the sort of thing that one day you're going to wake up and it'll be fine, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
So it would be like, when we're grandparents, like when we're like all, in our 50s, 60s, whatever, it's going to be a weird generation because, you're going to have these crazy tattoos walking around in Nike Airs and playing video games, like doing the floss. It's the party at your granddaughter's wedding. It's going to be, but that's it. That's the only reason why old people don't play games as commonly as is because it's their age thing.
Go up with them. Yeah. Of course, older people who play games is rare because they didn't grow up with them. Like we're going to be the first, I guess.
Yeah, we're going to be the first. We're going to be the first pioneers, if you will.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, definitely have periods where I played them less.
Fingers and
yeah. I remember like university. I played obviously less because I had other things to do. But then I wasn't falling out of love, but like I was playing less, and then I got the DS, and that sort of totally rejuvenated my love for gaming. And then so there's been bits where it's ebbed and flowed, but yeah, I can't see me stopping now.
I can see why. Like I don't know, maybe a couple of generations ago, if you were a bit older, you could be like, well, there's nothing really here for me, and I've kind of played, like, there was so, like, there's so more breadth now in the sort of experiences you can get from playing video games, and that's only going to increase, like, as time goes on, and, like, as there are older people playing games, there'll be more games aimed at older people playing games, and, yeah, like, I can't, like, as time goes on, it's going to matter less and less who you are, and... because there will be something that is aimed at you.
Yeah, I mean, this is like broadened massively, isn't it, since we sort of first started? So yeah.
Yeah, and like I look around on a train in the mornings, and everyone, like all ages and all types of people, they're all like so many people playing games on their phone. It's
they're not real games.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of match free out there, but also like I see those people playing like real time strategy on their phones. I'm like, what are you doing? But yeah, everyone's playing them everywhere. But
yeah, like I think it may well get to the point where we no longer recognize like the mainstream stuff, but I think we'll be catered for in one way or the other. I'm not worried.
I mean, but by the time we're like in our 60s, 70s, we'll just like strap on the VR headset and that's it.
Yeah, see you later.
Yeah.
Good fucking point.
A bit like now, actually.
I mean, you say that like it's quite nice in a way that like, you know, hopefully not. But if one of us, or indeed all of us, do end up just like stuck in a fucking home somewhere, like
we're going to be playing Overcooked.
What happened? Do you mean in the same home?
No,
I mean,
welcome
folks home. But the idea that you could
to the
just
computer game show.
You could just slap on a headset and be like, "All right, I'm off. Wait."
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't even have to do that by then, will you? It'd be like contact lenses.
Well, yeah,
or
it'd be
whatever.
fucking direct neural link lasers straight into your retinas.
It won't. We all know it won't. We overestimate the advancement in technology. We're supposed to be in flying cars, damn it.
But you know what I mean? Like that could bring a lot to when we are like physically less able than we are now, you know? And it already does to a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I just thought the idea of us all being in the same old people's home and like us all wheeling to the front of like the camp, you know, like where they will have to sit down for their breakfast and lunch, and we're like, and what's the news, James? James, he's asleep. He can't be asked.
How many? Yeah, by the time we're that age, old folks' homes will have a podcasting suite.
Yeah, definitely. It's Wednesday. Wheel to the front. I'm like, hey.
I mean, all joking aside, like, yeah, it won't. It might not be that uncommon for like gaming shows hosted by people in their 60s, 70s, what have you. Like, why not? You know?
Well, we're going to find out, aren't we?
Yeah. It'll be us, Sean. We're going to pioneer that as well.
It's episode 4,382 of the computer game show.
Thanks for
Keep living it. Unlike Matt, who passed away last year.
Please don't stop living it.
Thankfully, I'm still alive in it.
Matt stopped living it last year, unfortunately. 89 he was.
He had a good innings. Right. Okay.
Right. Tweets. If you want to tweet at us with a question, at Computer Game Pod on Twitter. Nick G at Prodcharger says, lads, Doris down the road has just won the Euro Millions and she wants to buy the Trocadero and make it the best gaming venue in the UK.
Yeah.
She's an old school Joypod fan and she wants your input so that it's not shit.
Sega Rally, just a 2,000 Sega Rally machines all linked up into one race.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm thinking like 100 cabinets, Battle Royale, but Sega Rally.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not massively up on the arcade scene in London, but I gather like all the machines there have been sold to like various places.
What do you mean?
So it's not like a total, because there's like just weird little casinos and stuff nearby, isn't there? That's like where most of the machines have gone. So they're still around. It's not like a total.
They're all in the Namco Centre. It's the only.
Are they all there, or is it just? I thought that was basically full already.
No, I mean Namco Centre's pretty full. Yeah. Life-size Rocket League. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just real. That surely someone's done that.
Yeah, is there not a Rocket League arcade game anyway? There must be, surely, at this point.
No, I don't think there's.
I just meant, is there not like a real life one with radio controlled cars? Surely
there's tabletop ones.
Okay.
But yeah, no. What was it? That was so weird. Who was I showing Rocket League to? This was ages ago. I think it might have been someone at work. I was showing them Rocket League because I talk about it a lot, obviously. And they went, "Well, watch Rocket League," and I showed them, and they went, "Oh yeah, that's like that Street Fighter racing game." Do you remember what was it called? What was the fuck was that called? Street Racer.
Street Racer.
The one with the really bad racial stereotypes.
Yeah,
that was terrible.
But do you remember that had a football mode in it where you could drive around like kicking a ball?
God, that's a deep cut, isn't it? Someone just pulling that out of the bag.
Yeah. And I said that wasn't actually a Street Fighter game. They just ripped off the street of Street Fighter and used it in their logo. What weird, weird cut.
Christ. Right, hang on, what have we got next? Paul at PGBWFC.
Says wrestling like
that guy.
He says, is Dave's dad still gaming? I miss his reviews. LOL.
I mean, I could bring him.
I assume.
Yeah,
I could bring him. So I ring him. The problem is,
it's pretty late.
Yeah, but it'll be all right.
It's too late.
I mean, he's retired. It's not like he's tired.
Yeah, he's got more energy than James has at this hour.
Right. Okay. I'm going to give him a call. He's not going to be able to hear you guys. All right. So
yeah, sure.
Right. Where is it? There you go. Let's give him a bell. See what my dad's up to. He's not going to pick up, is he?
Hello?
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 You alright, Dad?
Alright.
How's it going?
Alright. What do you want, Mummy?
No, I just... not this time. I'm just recording a podcast.
Yeah.
And someone's message saying, we've not heard from David's dad for a while, which is you. And we were wondering, are you still gaming?
Well, I can't afford it now, mate, can I?
What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm retired now.
So?
Well, I'm still playing FIFA 18.
So you are still gaming?
Well, a little bit, yeah.
What are you playing FIFA 18 on?
My own.
No, on what console?
Oh, PS4 you sold me. For an extortionate price.
No, I didn't. I gave it to you for 100 quid. No, in fact, actually, I didn't. You gave me a crappy old iPhone for it.
You still got more than you. You still got more for that, and I had to pay more for this.
What does that mean?
It means
Okay, listen. So
what do you want? Come on. If it's not Mummy, what is it?
Is that the only game you've been playing? You've just been playing FIFA?
Yeah, but I can't afford anything else, mate. You don't give me any of your stuff. Your prices are too high. I have to buy them off you. I can't afford it anymore.
Dad, you're a baby boomer. The reason why I have to sell you stuff is because of you. Never mind. Listen, have you got a message for the listeners? Because they're delighted to hear your voice.
Yeah, well, just like to say, you know my son better than I do. I very rarely see him, and when it is, he wants money. So,
all right then. Okay.
Really.
All right, I've got to go.
Just cut me off.
Yeah. But, all right. Goodbye. Okay, I got a bit personal there, but you get the message.
I thought you were going to say, "Oh yeah, sorry, Dad, it's breaking up. It's breaking up. I really got. I can't hear. Bye."
It was actually genuinely breaking up. Right.
All right. Implied peril at Dan Price says, "How did Sean end up being the sassy one?" Is this a thing?
I don't know. I don't think it is it? The only time you've got proper sassy was when I can't remember what it was. Oh, when I was saying that you were defending Nintendo's event, what was it, last year?
Yeah, that wound me up. Yeah, E3, yeah.
You got well angry with me. It's well funny. I heard that again, like recently.
Because you were making stuff up. You were twisting my words.
You make stuff
up
all the time. David never does that.
You make stuff up all the time. You can't give me any of that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But yeah, I mean, obviously I went off at that guy last week. That was quite fun.
Oh, yeah, but that was just funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm sassy. I mean, I don't know. Maybe parenthood's part to do with it. Like, I've never had enough sleep, so that's yeah.
Sleep
maybe
deprivation
my
is insane.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, see how we go. Maybe that'll become a
Sassy
thing.
Sean.
Yeah, the sassy one now.
Right,
Sassy
Tom
Sean
Doughty.
Murr. Welcome to the Computer Game Show 2019 with Sassy Sean, Murr and Farley. Farley, I don't want to be here, Farley.
Yeah, Farley's gone through and whittled out half the questions, by the way. So if you didn't get yours read out, that's on him.
I can't believe that. You were that one of my favourite questions ever.
Right, Tom Doughty at Rakaku Police says, "What is your daily routine?"
Oh, God. Get up. Watch UK road rage videos. Look after Harry for a bit. Go to work.
I was going to say, do you not find? Yeah, like I mean, I found that just having a kid, I mean, like, routine. There's no such thing. Like he's got a routine.
Routine
but,
pissing me off. Yeah.
But like once he's up, like that's it. Like I can't. Like I just have to fit in like washing and eating and going to the toilet as he sees fit.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't get to watch anything you want to watch on telly anymore when he's awake. It's just because, I mean, when I was a kid, it was like, do you want to watch kids' TV? Yes, please. It's on between 3 and 3:30 on one channel. You don't get to check. And he's like, I want to watch a YouTube video of someone playing this specific game at this specific part of the game. How is this a thing?
Yeah, it's nuts.
It is.
I've told you Isaac's obsessed with Hey Dougie. We got a question about that, but we've talked about it before.
Good
but
fucking cartoon.
He's like he literally like he fucking demands it. He does like he goes like Hey Dougie like that.
That is cute.
And it's fucking
It's the
terrifying.
best show to be obsessed with, though, to be fair.
It is,
When they move on, that sucks a bit. Especially from Hey Dougie, you're kind of like, oh, now I want to watch Power Rangers fighting super in space.
But it's good because that's like, if I'm like, fucking hell, like I need the toilet and he's not letting me go, I can just put him in his high chair, stick the tablet on with Hey Dougie. That's bought me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's literally like in his sleep. He says it sometimes. Maybe try and get him to watch something else. But yeah, daily routine, no such thing.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah. Right, last one. Cena at Cena the Doc says, does HDR depend more on the quality of the TV rather than implementation in the game? Discuss.
No, what do you think, Sean? I'm
going nowhere near this. You talk amongst yourselves.
It's the implementation in the game, isn't it? Clearly. I mean, well, I would say that, but they didn't implement it in Red Dead and it fooled one of us, so... Maybe
I think it's a bit of both. I mean, if your TV's got shit HDR, then that's not great. But yeah, I mean, obviously games and media have to implement it well, but also TVs are varying quality, so it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
Well, that was a boring answer. Right, okay.
That was a boring question. What was I supposed to do?
That's it.
I tried to cull that one, but Sean wouldn't let me. Sorry.
I thought I was going to get more of a ribbon for the HDR stuff.
Now, what
you called them like, what's your favourite Sega game of all time? And you added like the daily routine and does
Farley got rid of that.
Because we've already talked about it.
This is great because I get rid of questions every week, and as soon as Farley's on it, I'm like, look what Farley did.
Yeah, that's great. And then Matt drops you deleted my favourite question to try and get some like points from the listeners. That's it. We're done. Matt, have you got anything to say?
I always do. James, are we streaming on Thursday? Or are you busy?
I'm at a conference actually, so no.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Talking or just attending?
Just attending.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God.
Anyway, so there may be additional streams this week. Who knows? But just keep an eye on our Twitter at Computer Game Pod. All links to all our show notes, all our links are on your podcast player of choice right now. Dave did a Shenmue stream last night. That'll be on our YouTube channel. Head over there, just search us on YouTube for all the usual stuff.
I'm not ready yet, but I have subscribed to Origin Access and I'm downloading FIFA 17.
That's good because I am close to quitting fucking Shenmue. My word.
You're not.
It was awful this week. Awful. I mean, the first one is so far so much better than the second one that it's actually making me angry. Yes.
Okay.
Awful stuff.
How long is the second one, James?
About the same.
About
40
the
hours?
same length. Yes, it's not much.
Well, I must have put in 8 to 10 hours of it so far. It's just I mean, it's just everything that I didn't like about Shenmue 1 and none of the stuff that I liked about Shenmue 1. So, not digging it at the moment. Not digging it, but I'll crack on. Also, I would like to say a huge apology for the sound quality this week. That is completely my fault. I can only apologise, and yes, I deserve every fucking tweet I get. I'll take it on the chin. I've got no.
I'm so glad that was caught in the show because people were like, they would have heard that I'm editing it, and so I'm like, why does this sound so shit? Because Matt said this is it again.
No, they'd have found some way to blame me. Like it's something I've done, so that it's rubbish.
Reckon yourself. It's not all about you, James. All right, this is my.
It is when it comes to audio quality.
Good point. We'll catch you next week. Thank you so much for living here. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye.
You done a test recording, James?
Yes.
Yes.